All right, let's roll. The Twisted Tuesday. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between, along for the ride from Costa Rica to California, from Montreal, where we will be live this Saturday night at the Catacombs. It's the return of Homicide with Painbow. Looking forward to throwing it down. Some old school metal. Ready to bring it this weekend in Montreal. And we'll be live in Vancouver next Friday night, January the 5th, doing this show, the Friday Night Freak Show. So we appreciate those of you who are joining us here this evening. Big man on campus will step up and in. Normally, I think this is only the second time I haven't done a video promoting the program, and my apologies to SBR, but not enough hours in a day, man, I got to tell you. And we're a little bit rattled. We'll be with you till a little bit after midnight here this evening. I've got an extremely early morning tomorrow. You guys know if I can, I'll stay with you until 1:30 in the morning on a nightly basis. But we've got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. It's early start to the day. Tapings all day. A lot of other stuff in between. So we'll be with you for a couple hours here this evening. Big man on campus is going to join us in a couple of minutes. We've got the Cactus Bowl going on as we speak. And, of course, UCLA are winning by 10 points right now. Kansas State motherfucking blow. We bought into the hype because, Josh Rosen isn't playing. Well, the rest of the UCLA Bruins are because it's 17-7 right now. And the backup quarterback to Josh Rosen, who's going to be the new quarterback, the Monster. The Monster's getting it done right now. K-State just aren't the K-State aren't the type of team, that can bang back, but they're only down 10. These bowls have pretty much sucked, which I pretty much know this, though. Like, I've known this, I've told people, I warned people, and I really didn't listen to my own advice. That's the problem. I always tell people, listen, the first week of the early bowls, don't go big. Don't go big. Now, I don't know how many of you in the chat are winning as of late. Let me know. And, of course, we're looking for honesty, not some of the fucking jarheads that never, ever lose, of course. But it's pretty crazy. I just spoke to a buddy of mine who I haven't spoke to in about 2 months, actually. And this guy's a big-time bettor, but he's on and off, because he really gets crazy, and then he'll step back. And he told me, he's like, dude, normally I bet 400 a game. And he goes, for some reason, the last 2-3 weeks, I've been betting 4,000 or 5,000 a game. And he goes, you want to know what my record is? And I'm like, what's your record? He goes, I don't know, maybe 12-70. He goes, I've been on a gambling bender, man, and I'm not winning. I'm not winning. This guy, too, is a rich dude that, normally doesn't fuck up. He's a very successful person. Yet he's like, everything I touch, I get fucking screwed. He goes, I was about to take a bet for $5,000, and then I shut the computer down. I didn't do it. I closed it, and then they won by 18 when they were 9-point favorites. He's like, he's on tilt right now. And I told him, welcome to the club, fuck. I should start betting dollar bets right now, literally. I should honestly have $2 on a game because otherwise I might as well take here. Let's take a lighter, burn it, fuck. Look at Paul. Paul says he's down 7K in the past week or so. I'm down thousands over the last couple of weeks. I don't even want to know the numbers, but I destroyed one account. I had $2,400. I built one account up. I had 600 in one account. I turned 600 and 2,400 into fucking. I'm battling right now with the same fucking money. I went all the way to 2,400, all the way down to literally $35. I've rebuilt the $35 up to 280, and now I have K-State. I'm basically climbing mountains, fuck, and getting pushed back down climbing back up, getting pushed back down. The other day, I built up an account from $250 into $1,600. Cam Stewart told me, Morency, pull $1,000 right now. I'm telling you. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I'm good. I said, I'm not out of control. I'm very systematic. I'm going to build this up. Boom. Fucking lose that account. It's fucking frustrating, man. Yeah. And, I've had some good picks and shit like that, but when you just add it all up, there's just nothing but fucking frustration here, man. And most of it is these bowl games. Like, I hate to admit it, but every fucking year I tell people, don't bet big on the fucking early bowl games. You're betting fucking $2,000 a game on a fucking team that's fucking 6-6. And the only reason they're 6-6 is because they fucking played like fucking LeVar University or something like that in the first fucking game of the year. Here's fucking UCLA moving the ball again right now, for fuck's sakes. I'm going to fucking snap soon, man. Like, honestly, like yesterday, I was on the verge of like full meltdown type shit. Like, now I'm to the point where I don't even fucking care. It's like, yeah, whatever. Hurry up and lose K-State. Whatever. Next. And tomorrow, oh yeah, I got a ton of confidence in the Pinstripe Bowl. Fucking Arizona and Purdue and shit like that. Ted Savransky said the same thing. He goes, guys, last week, man, I said, Ted, what's your tip? He goes, the tip is if you lose a bet on like a North Texas or you lose a bet on a shitty-ass team, don't chase it in the next bowl game on another shitty-ass team. And, we've done – I've been much, much worse, all right? I'm actually not out of control. I'm not betting with a bookie. I'm losing my own money. I'm losing money that I built up and stuff. It's not like I'm like, oh, God, I got to meet this guy with an envelope. And, oh, shit, I got to come up with another $4,000 now. But I don't like losing, and I don't like fucking, like, I've given away, I don't know, man, $10K in the last month or something. Like, it's obscene. And the worst part is I get on a little roll, and I just end up giving it back in the end again. And these fucking bowl games aren't the way to fucking get it back. You bet on a fucking bowl game. You don't fucking know. You got these fucking interim coaches, fucking shithead fucking kids. There's like fucking 13 people at the fucking game. Who fucking knows with these fucking bowl games? They'll get a little better because we'll have some real teams playing in a couple of days. But then these real teams haven't played in a fucking month. So you're going to see it's like starting over. You're going to be like, what happened to this team? They scored 40 points a game. Well, they didn't fucking practice in 5 weeks. And, quarterback had food poisoning, Chuck. It's one fucking thing. Oh, the kid got fucking an STD at the prom. It's like one thing after a fucking other. And you bet on an NFL fucking game. And then you got a bunch of fucking corrupt fucking Tony Correntes and Morellis and fucking Hockley sticking it up your fucking ass. Yeah, like, seriously. I don't know. Like, I think the only thing to fucking bet on now is the Las Vegas Golden fucking Knights, man. All right, let's bring Big Man on campus in. What's up, Big Man?
What's up, buddy?
That's my bowl rant, Big Man.
I would ask you how you're doing, but doesn't seem like you're doing very good. So, hey, listen, Gabe, bet on college basketball. That's what I can tell you. Bet on college.
Yeah, there's no college. There's been no games the last couple of days.
Well, coming up, starting tomorrow, you're back at it.
I was doing well with college, but I'm a fucking moron, Big Man. I could be fucking banging, like, I could seriously be banging like Jessica fucking Alba, and someone would tell me, Morency, there's a football game on. I'd be like, all right, hold on, Jessica. Fuck, I got to bet all my money on this football game, even though I know it's a piece of shit game. I don't know what it is. I tell myself, oh, God, this NFL game sucks. Then I have fucking $650 on it. Fuck. I can't take it anymore. Like, I can't fucking take it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. We all go through these stretches. I would say this, Gabe, and this is surely just my opinion. I'm just saying my opinion. That's why I only stick to a couple sports. I don't try to bet them all. I here and there bet the NFL. I here and there bet the NBA. Like tonight I had an NBA bet. But, I don't spend enough time handicapping them to have a feel on them. I do the work for SBR with college football. I have bet every game so far. I've done well, 7-5 if this game hits tonight. But I've learned just sticking to a couple different leagues, not hitting them all. You do bet a lot. You bet a lot of different leagues. Maybe stick to just one or two, for right now.
I don't think my problem is too many leagues. I think it's too many games in the leagues.
There you go. Well, that also maybe.
Yeah. Instead of just I gotta nail one. Take this one game.
Sure.
The problem is, sitting here doing this show, like a good example is right now, wait for the fucking questions to start. Who are we taking in the Sacramento Clipper game?
I've already actually, it's funny, Gabe.
I just spoke to my buddy. Sorry, big man. I spoke to a buddy of mine in Montreal who's like a big gambler. He's on tilt right now. And he's like same fucking thing. Like he's fucking hating everything. He's
right
about everything.
Right.
And then I tell him, I'm like, yeah, man. And I go, and there's one fucking game left tonight. And of course, it's the fucking Sacramento Kings and the Clippers. And I'm like, this is like at 9:58. And I'm like, I got to go on the fucking air right now. And I got a million fucking people going to ask me who I like in this game. It's the worst game ever. The best thing would say we're not betting the fucking game. But we know we're not going to do that. We're going to bet the fucking game.
Yeah, actually, I had someone hit me up earlier and said, what do you like in this game? I said, listen, I made my unit in the NBA. I made my unit today. I'm out. I'm not interested. I'm not going to – just because there's a game on, that's what many bettors do. And then they want to, every week they're complaining. And I'm not talking about anyone here. I'm just saying in general, the key for me is to make profit. I bet one or two games a night. If I make profit, I'm happy. If I lose a little bit, okay. My goal is to just not lose a lot. That's the goal. Win a little bit every night. I made a unit tonight. I bet the Mavericks, they got the job done. Hopefully UCLA can get the job done for a smaller amount. And I'm going to go off into the next day, So, yeah, I mean, maybe just don't bet it. But, again, the show's on, so you almost kind of feel educated. It's like when we do the game cast, Gabe. We almost feel like we have to bet the game when we do the bet.
I never did bet one of those shitty Sunday games.
It sucked, right? Yeah.
I asked people in the chat, how's it going for you? We're getting some real horror stories. One guy and I believe them too. No one's going to make it up. Like, we got honest people, good people in the chat tonight. One guy is like, 10 dimes. The other guy, 7 dimes. I like Rise.
Yeah, this guy here, I lost all my money. I got $2.
Misery loves company. They're like, Morency, I lost everything. I got $2 in my account. Like, dude, I walked to a store to get a fucking card so I could bet at Bet365 on Christmas morning. That's how I spent Christmas morning. That's a lot of fun. Most people are with their families opening up presents. I'm in a shady fucking store that they're fucking holding my money up to the light to make sure it's not counterfeit. Yeah.
Yeah, not the way you want to spend Christmas, right?
No. I'm not betting massive units on these games, but the frustration level's still like through the roof anyways.
Gabe, when was the last time and I want you to give me an honest answer. When was the last day you didn't make one wager in any sport? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, there was probably like once or twice in the summertime.
Okay.
A few times I was very hungover on a Sunday, and I was like, fuck baseball. You know what I mean? Like one of those deals.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can't, to be honest with you, like I said, I don't think I've gone like a weeknight without betting on an NBA, NCAA. I'll be honest with you. I haven't bet on anything besides the bowl games today. I haven't even looked. And that's one thing I find with college basketball. It's a problem for me, big man. I don't have the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like the NBA, there's not so many teams, man. Like all these other leagues, I know all the teams. I know the flow and shit like that. I'm hosting 18 fucking shows a day. I don't have time to cap college basketball as much as I would like, That's why, if you notice, I sort of focus on the late games.
Sure.
I sort of, when I look at college basketball, I'm kind of weird. I start at the bottom of the board, big man. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the key. I mean,
I go right to the bottom. I'm like, all right, what's up at nighttime on the West Coast here? And then I sort of work my way back up.
Yeah.
And I know the West Coast because I'm doing the shows, I'm watching the games. But I find it hard, man. There's how many line teams are there now? What, 360 or something?
351.
351, man. I don't know fuck all 351 fucking teams now. I just don't have the fucking time. That's the problem with college ball for me.
Yeah, but I think you're going at it the right way, though. I mean, finding, that's how I do it. Finding teams that I enjoy and sticking with them all year, finding conferences.
That's what Malinsky talks about. Find a few conferences you're good at, right?
Yeah, because you also have to remember, I mean, out of the 351 teams, once you get to conference play, you're going to cut off about, 100 of those. They're not going to be in there. So, again, yeah, finding teams like, for instance, a team for me that I've mentioned on some of my shows, South Dakota. I like the Summit League. I'm a fan of that conference. Stick into that conference or have like a stable of 7 to 10 teams and you stick with them long term. You find some fade teams that you like, and you like Pepperdine. They're a fade team to me. Pittsburgh, those kind of teams. And just attack it like that. And you're just it's tough when you're doing shows because you want to be interactive with the people, but sometimes you got to be willing to just say, look, I don't see nothing here,
Yeah, what my issue is? It's not so much bad picks. I'm a good handicapper. I'm a bad gambler at times. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can pick the wins, not the wins, but at the end of the night, I'll end up money management and just overall, I need to become more disciplined as a gambler, not a handicapper, but as a gambler. And I don't do New Year's resolutions and shit like that, but that's going to be my New Year's resolution. My deal is, big man, I used to bet such big units that I don't get a fucking rush and I don't get excited about winning a couple of $100. Fuck. And it's a problem. If you don't value the dollar, you'll never win the dollar. Right. I told a good story. A buddy of mine told me a story about he was in jail and he's a good gambler, but he was telling a story about gambling. And another guy in jail told him, he goes, your problem is you don't care because he goes, I don't give a shit. Fuck, if I lose the fucking 5K, I'll get it back. And then the guy said to him, that's your problem. He goes, you don't care. He goes, if you don't care about a dollar, you'll never value it. And that's why your money management's so bad when you gamble. And it's very, very resonant, and it sort of stuck home. I've heard poker players talk about that because, poker, it's hard with the chips. There's a reason that the casino doesn't let you play with money on the table, right? Mm-hmm. You're playing with chips because suddenly it's not money. Right. It becomes – so it's that mindset to stay disciplined the whole time.
Hey, this is the exact reason I bet with locals. People ask me all the time, why do you bet on credit? Why do you bet with locals? For me, it's almost like – I value the relationships I have with these people that I bet with. I've known them for a long time. They're almost friends of mine, and in a way, it's a way for me I've almost always, since I was a kid, gotten into the notion of I'm not going to bet more than I can afford. I'm not going to, go crazier because, when you let's say you put 5,000 on a.
But you stay disciplined because of credit. You're like, I'm not going to get crazy because I don't want to get killed.
Because A, I don't want to get into a beef with nobody. B, I don't want to be in the position where I can't pay. And C, I value people and I don't want to, if I can't pay, lose the relationship that I have with those people. When you put 5,000 on a book, let's say, it's kind of like having a credit card. You don't necessarily have to pay it right away. So it's like, well, I'll just buy this. And then a couple days later, well, it's only a couple. I'll buy this. And then it starts to add up, and that's where on an online book, they're great, but they are a license to really, they have every bet you can ask. I mean, it's, well, I'll just do one parlay, a $25 parlay. That's not going to hurt. Then you look at the end of the week and you've spent $400 on parlays and you've
not won one.
Cam
does. Cam is the king of that, where it's like it looks harmless. He's like, I'll just bet $40 on this golfer to win. And then you look at his fucking page at the end of the week, and it's like, holy fuck, he bet on like $240 bettors, golfers to win and shit. Like he'll take the same bet 30 times for $40, not realizing he just put $1,200 on it.
Yeah, it's not so much the amount; it's the amount that adds up towards the end of the week. And there's a reason they're giving you 20-1 odds. There's a reason they're giving you 30-1 odds. They're not likely to hit. That's the point. And yeah, it's I don't know how to explain. You just got to have some control, some discipline. There's not a lot of things I have control with, but this is probably one. I feel like, and that's the biggest. Thing, not giving the money back that you're earning or trying to limit the amount you are losing.
I've told this story before. of a bookie told me. I've heard it from a couple of bookies, but one guy specifically, he's a banker too, this guy. He's a bookie and he's a banker. He works like not in the bank, but in the management of the headquarters and shit like that.
Sure.
So it's a nice little bookie gig to have other big banker money, right? Bankers have money, they like to bet. Sort of like having a Wall Street deal. So he was telling me that people bet 8 times more on credit generally than they will. You know, and it's interesting because that is my problem. I find that when I just look at these fucking dumb numbers on a screen, they're just dumb numbers to me. Like I think I've gambled for so fucking long. So I've lived every lifestyle of gambling. I've lived like fucking small time fucking guy. I've lived fucking degenerate over my head guy. I've lived successful guy. I've lived fucking loser guy, sleep in a Motel 6 in Vegas guy. Like I've done it all, like at all spectrums. And I found that one of my more successful runs actually was when I lived in Las Vegas. And a lot of people said to me, a lot of people by my back and shit, Morency will never last in Vegas. He's a fucking degenerate. He's going to run out of money. He's going to fucking go on a bad run. He's going to lose. He'll be out of control. He'll be there all the time in the casino and crap. And you know what, big man? I was never so fucking disciplined as I was in Vegas. Why? Because you're betting with hard cash at the window.
Right.
You know? Suddenly, you know, I'd bet 1,000 online without even like I could bet like $2,000 on a football game and take a nap. Like I won't even have like my blood, like my heart won't even be beating fast. Like I could just take a nap and like whatever and look at the score after. But in Vegas, when you're at the window, it's realer, big man. You're like,
yeah.
You're counting out the 100s. You're like 1, 2, 3.
Right, 4. And it's if you don't win, that's not coming back.
You're like, do I really want to keep putting more 100s on the table here? It's like, all right, here's $1,000. Then you realize you're like, wow, I just bet $1,000 cash. And when you win, you feel the rush more. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, he's got 1,900 back, man. Then you're looking at the $1,100 bills. You're like, yeah, I see this. You feel it. And then and when I lived in Vegas, I used to tell myself, get something out of it. So like I would win like $3,000. The next day I'd buy a pair of shoes. Fuck, you know what I mean? So like I would sort of, all right, I'm buying a couch. Like I would get shit out of it. Online, you know, sometimes I don't pull money online for 3 fucking weeks. So
that's the problem.
Emotional, fictional number in your head where you go to bed happy or sad, but you're not really getting any value out of it in your hand.
You're totally right. And that's in a way how I treat, you know, the locals that I deal with. You know, I've been doing this a long time, as of you. You've been doing it longer than I have, but I've done this since I was like 12, Gabe. So, you know, I've seen a lot of people, and I've seen some of the people I deal with are legitimate people. I don't want to fuck with them. I don't want to get into the business of owing them money because I've owned loan sharks. I've paid 30% VIG on stuff. It sucks. You know, I don't want to have to do that. I work too hard to make the money I make. So in a way, I've been through those things. I've seen those. And I'm really scared for a lot of these kids coming into this business, these young kids you see on here, because you know, it's not the money that they're making is there, but it's not there. And it's so easy to just go on and click something, you know, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but it's, you got to be disciplined. You got to find that early on. It's a business. Treat it like a business. It'll pay like a business, you know? Yeah,
you're right. You're right. You have to, you know, and it's funny we talk about that too, because it's all in your head, isn't it, guys? Like how many of you would be honest, like what Stooch says, gets in here. It's like, Jesus, I just joined a fucking Gamblers Anonymous meeting. But, hey, we're not telling anyone to stop betting. We didn't say that.
Just do it disciplined.
Yeah, we're talking about getting it right. But it is amazing, isn't it, that you can have a nice night. Let's say you win, you know, whatever your units are. But let's say you won, you know, $500. All right, let's just say whatever.
Yeah.
You win $700 or whatever is a good night for you. And you go to bed. You're happy. You're in a good mood. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck, yeah, it was a good night tonight. Nailed the NBA. I'm fucking good at this shit. And whatever. Did it change your fucking life? It's a number on a screen.
And it
doesn't change your life. And then the next day you lose and you're fucking depressed as fuck. You're like, holy fuck, man. And then once again, it's a number on a screen. So, and the thing is, when you're betting online, very few people pull out every day. Fuck. Like, who does that? Who withdraws every day at an online sports book? A lot of online sports books only let you do one withdrawal a week. You know, and the good ones will let you do, there's very few that let you do.
The big question is, why do they let you do that?
Well, because fucking they know you're going to lose the money.
Right. They don't want you taking it out. It's you know, it's like going to a casino and all these guys are going to casino.
What up, Sheldon? Good to see you, buddy.
I'm
Sheldon 21. You're going to like Sheldon. Sheldon lives in L.A. He's a good buddy of mine. And he's a diehard Eagle fan, too. So we'll talk some Eagles in a second.
Oh, we will. And I got to tell you one thing about last night that I wanted to get off my chest. But real quick, I would treat it like I always talk to my barber about this. You know, I've talked to my barber on here. My barber's been my barber for many years, like 10 plus years. And he's one of the only barbers I've ever met that has an amazing client base that I wonder. He showed me a tax return one time, and it was like he made like almost over $100,000 a year cutting hair. And I often said to him, like, how come all these other barbers don't have a pot to piss in? He's like, because unlike them, he goes, the money I make every night, I take it, I go right to the bank. The cash deposit thing, I put the money in the bank. He goes, most of these barbers, they take the money and it's like being a waitress or something. You got to treat that like betting. You know, take the money you make every day, pull it out, or do it weekly at least. Get your money out. Get the money you've made. When you see it in your hands, it's a lot. You know, it's a lot more rewarding. It's a lot more fulfilling. Like Gabe said, I mean, it's money, but it's not money because it's always there, but it can go real quick out the window too. You know, you gotta.
Brandon in St. Louis joining us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I've got to start. And I get on these runs and it's like I get up to 2,200, 2,400. And then it's like, wow, let's get it to fucking 5,000. Let's have a big fucking score here. Let's hit these guys.
But those big scores don't come.
I know.
A lot of the time.
You can have a bunch of nice scores if you just pull the 1,600.
Exactly.
Another 1,600, and then by the end of the month, you're like, "Damn, I beat that book for $6,200 this month."
Set yourself a goal every week. When you get to that goal, get the money out, and everything on top of it is, you know.
I know a card counter in Vegas, and you know the people that make a living in Vegas, sort of hustlers, grifters type. Okay. Yep. And they said the same thing. They were like, listen, you're not shaking down MGM for fucking $300K. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not happening. So their deal was, and it's $72,000 a year, which is not a bad job. $72K a year, $200 a day. $200 a day. And their deal is you go into the casino, you get up $200, you fucking leave.
Yeah.
You leave. You don't say, fuck, whatever, $200. That's a steak dinner, fuck. Or I'm going to get a hooker now. You know what I mean? No. You get up to $200, you walk out the door, and like you said, you put that in an envelope, and then boom. All right, and tomorrow's a new day for you.
That's how you have to look at it.
You add that up, that's $1,400 a week. Yeah. You know, that's $2,800 every 2 weeks. That's $5,600 a month.
It's the only way.
And you're paying your rent.
Yep.
Hey, rent in Vegas, you got a night. I lived in a fucking luxury condo for $1,300 a month in Vegas. $800, you have a nice place in Vegas. You make $200 a day. You're making $5,600 a month. $200 a day in a casino, and you're living a nice lifestyle. Fuck, but it's hard to just say, "I want $200. I'm going to leave." That's what you're doing now with your one bet a day and shit. You're leaving. That's why you're up units right now.
You have to do that. That's the only way you're going to make money long term. You're gonna have these weeks, but here's the thing, Gabe. I can lose every day of the week, but it's still only, you know, that 8 units. It's not that big a deal, and I'm not going to lose every day of the week. That's why for me, building up the amount that I built up, people say to me, "Why don't you bet more games?" Because I want to stay in profit. That's why.
I'm going all in every day, bro. I'm putting 100% of my bankroll on the table every day.
You can't do that.
And I hate to admit it, but I'm doing it. Like, I dance with the devil and I get away with it. And I'm like, all right, you know, like, and I build it up. And it's like, okay, I'll put the entire $250 that I have in this tonight on games. Boom. All right, I got it up to $600. I'm going to put the entire $600 on the games. All right, I'm going to put the entire $1,600. I'm going to put the entire $2,400 on the games. And then eventually, you gamble every fucking day. Eventually, you're going to fall down the stairs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care who. Somebody sent me a story today of what's the guy, Bodarovich or something, or some new.
The big Rob stuff. Yeah, I read that article.
Yeah. This guy, he never loses. He fucking bets $100K without knowing a player's name.
Terrible article.
Dude, I guarantee you, this guy, whatever. You know, this guy's going to be a nobody here. I told the story of a guy I know in Vegas. They did a story about him on covers.com, man. Okay. He was a ticket taker out of Sportsbook. And he won. He used to pick games, and he was a guy who worked behind the window. And he started to bet, and he went on a nice streak. And he won so much that he was like, I don't know why I'm even fucking taking these fucking things. I should just be betting, high rolling this shit. So he starts high rolling the bets and stuff. 10,000 a game, 15,000 a game. He's moving numbers in Vegas. Suddenly, fucking the local media, hey, that ticket taker guys, he's walking around with 2 chicks on his arm. He went to the national championship game. The football game. You know, he bet like fucking 18K on the game, flew to the game type shit. You know what I mean? He was living a dream type thing. He's going hard. There's a story on him in covers.com. You know, how high rollers in Vegas live or pro gamblers type thing. Right. You know, people reading this, you know, there's kids everywhere idolizing it, right?
They love it, right.
Oh, fuck, this guy's the coolest guy ever. He's in Vegas. He's with chicks. Guy fucking going to football games, fucking getting on a plane, fucking sitting at the 50-yard line. He's living a dream and shit. The guy's fucking, last time I saw this guy, so there was an article about him in covers.com. The last time I saw this guy, big man, he was shaking me down for money. I probably gave him about $400 over the weekend. He was living in his car. And by Super Bowl Sunday, it was the Panthers-Broncos. I believe there was a warrant out for his arrest because I think he broke into his mother's house. This was the high roller. You know what I'm saying?
You know, here's what I always think.
You walk around and you guys, so I just want to say this to you guys. You read these stories about these guys. How's Vegas Dave doing?
Yeah.
How's Vegas like? You know, oh, that was great. Yeah. Oh, he's on TV. He's got a hot chick on his arm and he's at the Super Bowl with his big thing. I have $4 million on this game. Yeah, he's also fucking in jail right now. Like, take the trade-off here.
The loudest guy in the room is always the biggest loser. That's what I've always heard, you know. And look, I mean, I've almost, you know, I have a decent amount of followers at this point, but I also saw something on Twitter the other day. I think it was Todd Furman, I believe, tweeted out. He said, you know, there's so many guys, there's all these followers, they're asking for retweets, they're asking for this and that, but you know, most of the sharp guys, you would never know who they were. You know, you don't know who they are.
Exactly.
You know, and they live a nice life. You know, and that's what I strive to be in a way. That's one of the reasons I don't sell picks anymore. I'm not looking to be the loudest guy in the room, the biggest guy in the room. I just want to do the things that I enjoy. This kind of stuff. You know, betting the games that I bet. You know, having some kind of life and you know, doing well for myself. You know, I don't have a boss to tell me what to do, and I'm pretty happy. You know, I don't need to be Vegas Dave or this guy or that guy. Let me just do my things on the side that I do this. And
I get these fuckhead cappers and shit. I'm Morency, fuck you, you do this. I'm hosting a free show here, man, just having fun. I don't have a 976 number like these fuckheads trying to shake people down. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you know, hey. I tell these people, listen, if your picks are good enough for someone to put you on national television for the last 16 years, knock yourself out.
Gabe,
I don't see you on TV, fuckface, so I don't know what to tell you.
This was the best thing about the article that I read, that article you're talking about. This guy's talking about how he bets $100,000 a game. He's shaking people down on Instagram right now. You can go look for $500 packages.
So, he's such a high roller.
He makes so much money. Listen, let me ask you a question. I've been a tout.
They made him in the article. Right now, he's getting a blowjob in a fucking Palm Suite on a balcony condo doing a line of blow.
And he's asking me.
Yeah.
That's what I never understood. The Steve Stevens guy, and that's what I never understood about these guys. They're making all these bets, but they need my $250 a week. You know, I've been a tout. I've done it. I've been there before. Listen, if I was making any legitimate, real money, I would not be a fucking tout. It'd be the last thing I'd want to do.
Right, so
I just don't. I don't get it.
K-State are -3.5 here in the second half. Speaking of betting, let's do some betting.
Yeah.
K-State -3.5 in the second half. They're down 10. I know they were favored in the game. I hate chasing, but you got to believe they get back in this big man. They're down by 10 points right now.
Yeah, I mean, I watched
7.5 feels a little low too, but I'd lean more with K-State here, guys.
I'll admit, I mean, their play calling's been odd, to be honest. I mean, they can run roughshod over UCLA if they just would run the football. I mean, they've got
the ball, just run the ball. I know.
Yeah, I mean, the one time they did run the ball, they had a big time touchdown. But listen, the problem with Kansas State every year is they can't stop anyone through the air. And Devin Monsters had a big game throwing the ball. I mean, a couple big plays. They should get back into the game, but I don't. I mean, they can't stop anyone through the air. I have a hard time thinking that they're going to do have a ton of stops either. I'd maybe look over. I think you make a good point.
7.5 is too low.
Yeah,
look at the team totals here. UCLA team totals 10.5 in the second half.
Yeah, they should be able to do that. They'll keep their foot on the gas. Might see a trick play or something. Yeah.
K-State's team totals 14.5.
I'd be more interested in UCLA.
Yeah. You know what, though? I think the over 27.5. Yeah, you know what? The over 10.5 is a nice play for UCLA. It is minus 160. This is a U-wager right now.
Sometimes you got to lay a little juice, Gabe, to make the real money,
But yeah, UCLA is not going to let up. You see these bowl teams, when the teams start having fun, they love scoring TDs and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you have two teams that, one of which is got a new coach coming in. He's in the stadium watching them.
Kelly watching up there in the press box.
And Bill Snyder, it's questionable. Bill Snyder, by the way, Gabe, I got to be honest.
Bill Snyder. He's holding this whole fucking school hostage.
But I will say this. Why are we, Bill Snyder is 2-6 over his last 8 bowl games. He's 8-10 in his career in bowls. The guy's just not any good in bowl games. I mean, and you're right. He is holding them hostage. He's making this, I don't know what I'm going to do. Listen, old man, get out of the way. Decide what you're doing. Let us make our decision.
Force his fucking son to be the coach, too.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, Donnie was talking about him, and he said you and him were talking about that. Yeah, I got to wonder.
He's allowed to name the successor. And they told him, listen, you're the coach. You're not the AD. And he actually won the battle with the AD and got the AD quit, split. And now we're right back to square one again. Guys, his son is the special teams coach, okay? He's been the coach since 1994 on the program. He's never coached anywhere else in his life.
That'll work well.
Yeah, it's not like, it's his son, but no, he's the head coach in a MAC team. And you know what I mean? It's pure nepotism here. He's not qualified to be the head coach. The Big 12 is a big-time conference, man. You don't give it to him because, it's nice. You know what? I hate to say it, but the son, you got to go with the father. You're gone. You know what I mean? You were here before. You don't get a lifetime pass here. This isn't like, what are you, the Paternos?
He's been a special teams coach since 2011, and that's it. He spent his
before that, he was just like a film guy and shit.
Yeah, you're totally right here. I mean, this won't work well. And listen, Bill Snyder's been a great coach, but I mean, his teams have the same profile every year. No legitimate quarterback. They run the ball a ton. They can't stop anyone through the air. I mean, they're the same boring team every year.
Yeah, what up, Kyle Hamburg in the chat? Yeah, Dick LeBeau's leaving the Titans to be the DC at K-State. No. Dick LeBeau just got a new job, fuck. He's going to be the host of fucking the remake of Tales from the Crypt, fuck.
And Bill Snyder will be the correspondent in that show.
Yeah, all right, guys. I just took K-State minus 3.5 and over 27.5 in the second half. We were talking about it last night, big man. People asked me, all right, which coaches should be fired in the NFL? We had 7 of them on our list. And Mike Mularkey was one of them. And, seriously, dude, you got Derrick Henry, doesn't get the ball. You got Marcus Mariota, Corey Davis, Eric Decker, Delaney Walker, Rashard Matthews. The Tennessee Titans have one of the best offensive lines in fucking football. And they're an 8-17. Who's their coach? Mike Mularkey and Dick LeBeau. Big man, combined age, 136. No joke. Dick LeBeau's 80 fucking years old, bro. He started coaching in 1973. Hey, with all due respect, Dick, we'll put you in the coaching Hall of Fame, man, but fuck, you got to go. You know what I mean?
Get out of the way.
It's over, fuck. Mike Mularkey is a shitty coach. He's got to go, too.
No, I agree. I'm disappointed with that team. I thought they would be a real – I thought they were the favorite to win that division. Obviously, the Jags played really well. But, yeah, I agree with you totally. I mean, the Dick LeBeaus and the Bob Suttons of the world. I mean, get out of the way. I mean, get out of here. Bob Sutton over at Kansas City. What's he? 80 years old also. He's a guy got to go. Listen, I get it. I don't actually, you know what? I don't get it. Hugh Jackson needs to go. Move on. I mean,
Hugh Jackson, how does he not fucking resign, bro?
He's won one game.
Pride.
I would just be like, look.
You could tell him, walk in and sort of guys, I gave it my all. I just can't turn this thing around, man. Here's the key to the office. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, but I just can't do this. Like, I can't. It's not working. You look at the huge accident in the Cleveland. I'm not kidding, Sheldon. Last night I pulled that number out of my ass because we were talking about. I said that Marcus Mariota and the Titans, big man, they should be like the Rams. They should have a potent offense. It should be like, and they should have like a young, innovative coach.
Yeah.
But you've got Mike Mularkey, who's a clown, and Dick LeBeau. How are these two guys going to help
Mike Mularkey's been in that group of like Jim Caldwell's, like these
Duran. You know what I mean?
Right. Great point. Yeah.
Exactly. Mediocre. So we have all this young talent.
Ken Wisenhunt.
To get Corey Davis. We do all these bold moves, and then we give the fucking key. You know what it is? It's like having an F1 car and then hiring a fucking milkman. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you hire some hotshot German dude to drive in an F1 car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. You're giving the keys to some fuckhead like Mularkey that, doesn't figure out to give the ball to Derrick Henry. It's baffling to me. It's fucking crazy, this shit. I'm not even a Titan fan, and it angers me that these fucking losers are coaches in the league. And, big man, you know it and I know it too. You say it all the time. The NFL fucking sucks. And you're not the biggest NFL fan, but the players are better than they've ever been. They're faster, they're stronger, they're better than they've ever been. But the league sucks. It's, whose fault it is? It's the Mike Mularkeys and the Chuck Paganos of the world, man. There's football fucking coaches. Look at college football. College football is entertaining because of the play calling. And they'll take chances and they'll push the envelope. The guys in the NFL, the same fuckheads go 4-12 every year by going by the book, big man. John Fox. Well, I'm going to go 5-11 again. I better punt from the other team's fucking 44-yard line because that's what the book says. And then, good for you, fuck. You've been
how is this
for 12 years and your team suck? You know what I mean?
How is Marvin Lewis for like 10 years managed to be the most mediocre guy ever? He's Jeff Fisher. That's what he is. He's mediocre every fucking year after year. And he's finally going away, finally. But, I mean, I just don't get – plus, like, Ian Cameron making a good point in this chat right now about the level of offensive coordinator in this league anymore. I mean –
terrible. How is fucking Todd Monken in the league? And good job by Elio, too. Very good point. Like Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan was a good coach. Jeff Fisher was a good coach. Jeff Fisher was a good coach with the Titans years ago, guys. He used to win divisions and go to Super Bowls, okay? Rex Ryan was a good coach, took the Jets to back-to-back AFC Conference Championship games. That was 8 and 12 and 15 years ago.
Right.
The league has changed. The league surpassed Rex Ryan's old playbook, and we're going to do it this way, guys. And a great point by Elio. All these fucking dudes in the NFL, in the OCs, instead of adjusting to the players that they have, they say, well, here's the book, and you do this. And then after, when they don't do it, instead of accepting responsibility and themselves and saying, you know what, I'm giving this guy things he can't do. I got to put him in a position to succeed. The coaches sit around having drinks after, throwing the players under the bus. Oh, Tyrod Taylor just can't read this. He just can't do that. Yeah, we know this. So why do you ask him to do this play if you know he can't do it?
Maybe Rick Dennison, you're
a fucking idiot again.
Right, yeah. You the same retreads here. I mean, listen to some of these offensive coordinators in the league. Marty Morningweg. I mean, this Rubisky, Terry Rubisky. I mean, Todd Monken, Donwell Loggins. I mean, who the hell are some of these guys? Just Bill Musgrave. I mean,
Musgrave did a nice job. He's screwed, dude. Bill Walsh, San Francisco great Bill Walsh could be the coordinator of that Denver Bronco team. He
just doesn't have a quarterback.
Listen, Musgrave last year with the Raiders did a nice job. Yeah, they fired him for some reason. How's our boy Todd Downing doing there, big man? Remember him? Fuck.
Sure. No, he's
clown.
But the Chuck Pagano thing, you mentioned him. I mean, I've talked about this earlier in the season. Listen, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the cancer thing. That was like 6 years ago. How long are we going to baby this guy?
Chuck Strong is over.
Move on. I mean, it's a business, for God's sakes.
Yeah, you couldn't fire the guy when you got Chuck Strong banners up. I get it. It's like Big Man said. That was 5-6.
It was in 2012. Like, Move on from the man.
And let's be real, everybody gets cancer now, right? So what are you going to do? Everyone who gets cancer gets a job forever?
Yeah, I mean, in the last 3 years, Gabe, he's 8-8, 8-8, and 3-11, and maybe probably 3-12 or 3-13, whatever.
Yeah, with Andrew Luck before too.
Right, but the point of the matter is,
defensive guy with a shitty defense.
Right, the defense has been awful. People are like, well, he had cancer. It's a business, for Christ's sakes. If I have a job and I'm sick for a couple weeks, they're going to say, well, all right, it's been a couple weeks, but get back to work. I mean,
the thing is, that was then. They Bruce Arians kept his seat warm. He came back. He had a chance. He's run the franchise for a few years. It's time now. It's part of the progression. Chuck can be a DC again somewhere. It's part of the progression. It is what it is. These guys don't get lifetime appointments, these jobs. Bill O'Brien's another one. Deshaun Watson's injured right now. Now is the time to just get rid of fucking O'Brien. Yep. You're going to have a fresh new look next year with Deshaun Watson. Yep. And it's funny, I heard John Gruden, Chucky defending O'Brien the other night during the game, stating that, you're going to fire this guy. This guy lost to Deshaun Watson, star quarterback. You see how great their offense was when Deshaun Watson was there? I wanted to yell. I was yelling at the TV. I'm like, Gruden, Bill O'Brien started Tom Savage over Deshaun Watson.
Right. He didn't even want him.
He didn't want to start him, fuck.
Right. And as far as the quarterback.
Deshaun Watson wasn't successful because of Bill O'Brien, big man. You know what I mean? So what? Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson's an awesome athlete and going to be a star, that Bill O'Brien should be allowed along for the ride now? Fuck that. I
got to be honest. I'm not really sure. And maybe I'm ridiculous in saying this, but I'm not really sure why you got rid of Kubiak to begin with. I mean,
Kubiak was a good coach. Fuck, he won a Super Bowl.
That's the point. I don't get it. I mean,
big man, when Kubiak was a coach in Houston, big offensive numbers.
Yes.
Andre Johnson, every tight end, eight big fucking meals every night, man. Big over the middle, tight end. Texans were a decent team. They weren't a horrible team. And the thing with O'Brien is, if you look at the Houston Texans, big man, they're fucking loaded, bro.
Yeah.
They spend money, man. You know what I mean? You need Lamar Miller? You want a running back? All right. You need a quarterback? It was O'Brien that wanted Brock Osweiler. You got Javoni and Clowney. You got J.J. Watt. You've got fucking, Merciless. You go down the list on offense. You got one of the best wide receivers in the NFL in DeAndre Hopkins. The Dante Foreman's a good player that you draft out of Texas. Lamar Miller's not great, but he's good enough. You go down the list of players, it's like, hey, coach, fuck. Even last year, guys, 3 years in a row, Bill O'Brien's been 9-7. With all-star Pro Bowl talent, fuck. He's not a good coach, man.
I agree. And you look at Denver, I mean, it's kind of a shame that he had to retire, but Kubiak, just because, you think they would have wished that he would have stayed? Vance Joseph, look, I'll give the guy some credit. He doesn't exactly have a quarterback, but,
yeah, but he's a quarterback guru. I went through the list the other night. Every quarterback that's been there, O'Brien is sanctioned. Fitzpatrick, Mallett, Yates. Fuck, we go down the list. It's a fucking QB loser fucking camp we got going.
Brian Hoyer. Yeah. No, you're totally right. I think it's time to move on as well. Put him as a coordinator somewhere, or something. Maybe go back to college. I don't know, but yeah, the guy in Pagano, Bill O'Brien, Hugh Jackson. There are plenty of coaches.
Dirk Cutter's got to go.
Oh, sure.
He might be the worst coach in the league. Seriously? No, Hugh Jackson's the worst coach. I don't know. Is it Hugh or is it whatever? It's got to be Hugh. But Dirk Cutter really is how is Dirk Cutter he never had experience? Why is Dirk Cutter a coach in the NFL?
That's the question, and that's where I don't get it. How are any of these guys, qualified to be a head coach?
Dirk Cutter's claim to fame is, all right, you built Boise State up, fuck, okay.
Yeah, but that was
for you. So you should be in college right now.
But you didn't really build it up, though, because they didn't build up until
Chris Peterson was the one that really.
Right. You didn't really build anything.
But people talk about Dirk Cutter like he's some legend there at ASU. Fuck, he went 8-4, big man. You know what I mean?
It was 40-34. He was very average.
Is that what his college record was? 40-34?
Yeah, 40-34 at Arizona State.
That makes sense with no NFL experience. So let's make him the head coach of an NFL team.
And what sense does it make? Okay, first of all, the Monken crew, Todd and Jeff Monken. First of all, Jeff's a better coach at Army. Second of all, what is Todd Monken qualified to do in this league? He was 13-25 at Southern Miss. That was his claim to fame, Gabe. And you know the only reason he got the job is because the guy before him was 0-12 at Southern Miss. And they fired him. How is this guy an offensive coordinator in the NFL? I don't get it. I really believe I could go out and call a better game than he could. I firmly believe that.
Brandon asked a good question. What do you think of Herm Edwards in ASU?
I might get some flack for this. I think he's going to be a hell of a coach at Arizona State. I really do.
I don't know. I can't. I hate that we're a month into the hire now, weeks into the hire, and I still don't have a strong opinion. That's not like me normally, but
I think Herm's a real motivator, and I think
like I got to tell you, I watched his press conference. And I wanted to get up. I was like, fuck, put me in. I got eligibility, coach. You know what I mean? Like, I want to come and play for you. Like, you know, like he was like, you know, he's got that. And he's the type of guy that you want to be around. You know what I mean? He's got that enthusiasm factor. And here's UCLA going deep. No. But the thing is, he hasn't coached in fucking, listen, he hasn't coached football since 2008, I believe it is. He hasn't been around the college game since the 90s. How is he going to do, big man? Like, what about recruiting? Like, is he going to have like big time recruiters helping him? That's the thing I'm wondering about.
I think for Herm, it's going to be about the group he puts in around him, because I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to wow anybody on the field. I don't think he's going to be one of those guys. But I think for him, it's all about he will be a good recruiter, because I think motivationally, he's kind of like a father figure to a lot of people, and he will be a father figure to a lot of people.
Raised a good point. Like Lovie Smith and Herm Edwards, sort of the same type of thing. A little more enthusiastic. Lovey's obviously not his personality. Like Lovie.
And Herm's also going to a place that I think will fit him pretty well. I mean, if he can get the right hires around him, you get a good offensive coordinator, get a good defensive coordinator, get some good people around him, he'll be able to recruit. That's a good area to recruit. He's going to have a pretty decent team coming in.
But if I'm Arizona State, do I want Herm Edwards to be my coach, or do I want Lane Kiffin? Like, I don't understand that. Like, just why don't And somebody, you know what, though, guys? I didn't realize this at the time, but the athletic director, there's a new athletic director at Arizona State. He's Herm Edwards' fucking agent. Like, if anyone, because I wondered, like, I asked Rich Sermonello, I do a college football show with Joe Lisi and Rich Sermonello. And Sermonello is one of these guys, like, he used to work for College Football News type, you know what I mean? He's one of these, speaks to coaches on the phone during the day and shit. Like so he knows all the little scoops. And he's the one that told me. He's like the athletic director was Herm Edwards' agent before. That's because I wondered, like, where's the connection with Herm Edwards here to Arizona State? It's just so out of left field. So he wasn't really hired on his qualifications. He knew somebody. and then Herm fucking blew the fucking dean. Herm Edwards sitting in a boardroom. This guy's been on TV and shit for years, man. Herm Edwards can bullshit Vladimir Putin, fuck. Like Herm Edwards sitting there and in front of the deans and all the board of directors at Arizona State. They're like, oh, this guy's charming. Hire him, fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen, I don't think he's going to be a wow kind of coach as far as, he actually kind of reminds me of what maybe Ed Orgeron is. I mean, Ed is a good recruiter. He's a people guy. The players love him, but I don't think he makes legitimately big decisions on the field. I mean, he's not the guy. He's not going to win you a game because of his
coach Nick Saban for a championship.
Right? No, but he's decent. I mean, he's not bad. Most of the guys around him, the Matt Canadas of the world, they're the people that are making the real decisions. And it's really going to be about the hires around him. Like I said, if they make some really good hires there and have some good people in place, they'll do well. I mean, they had a pretty good season. He's better than Todd Graham, for God's sakes. The problem you have in the Pac-12 is now you got Chip Kelly back. You got Oregon. You got the Southern Cals. You got Arizona, who's played better. I don't really understand why they stuck with Rich Rodriguez, frankly. But again, you have Utah, who's always a tough team. The Washington schools have really come on. I know you're not a Mike Leach guy, but Mike Leach has resurrected 2 programs from really the depths of despair.
K-State.
There you go.
Big play, big run.
Yeah, they needed that. So
UCLA can't tackle. Like, you and I, big man, could be running for 8 yards, right? Like, they can't tackle. Like, just run the ball.
They need to run the football. That's the big thing. Kansas State UCLA is a horrible run defense. Horrible. But we'll see with Herm. I mean, they got to make some good hires there, which I'm sure they will.
All right. So yeah, we weren't even planning on talking about coaches like this off the cuff. Good conversation though. Big man can only stay to 11:30. So
actually, Gabe, I could stay later if you want. I actually did what I had to do before the show. So
one other guy I want to throw out there, and actually, what's your take on this game? Because this game's actually on Friday night. I think it's Friday night. Yeah, Friday. I'm going to be in Montreal, guys, so I'll be doing the show from a hotel room, actually. So USC and Ohio State. I like the USC Trojans plus the points in this game. Yeah, look, talking about coaches, like Clay Helton is sort of, what's Clay Helton as a coach? Seems, players like him, good recruiter. He hasn't fucked up from a recruiting standpoint there. But is he an X's and O's guy? Can he win a big game? I guess we're going to find out against Ohio State because Clay Helton doesn't have that signature win yet.
No, he doesn't. And that's the thing. He's kind of he reminds you a little bit of like that Mark Helfrich type. I mean, he's there and he's
better than Helfrich. Helfrich was fucking terrible.
Right, he's a name, but he's more or less like he's kind of you don't really hear much from him. He doesn't really talk too much. But listen, it's Darnold. I mean, he's the X factor for USC. If he plays well, they'll play well. Defensively, they're average. Ohio State's obviously better defensively, but I don't know what Helton is. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Is he the hire that I would make at USC? No.
The players wanted him. And,
right.
10-2's not bad, though, big man. I think our expectations of USC a little bit this year, due to the Sam Darnold hype coming into the year, people expected a lot. Look at Juju Smith-Schuster, man.
Yes, we do expect a lot because they should be good every year. They get
They didn't cover a lot, right?
Right.
And that's perception, big man. That's why we'll get to your Eagles. That's why last night we were all sour about your Eagles after. You're like, fuck these guys. USC won games this year, but oftentimes they were big favorites, and here comes K-State, big run. Just keep running it. There you go. Is he in or does he step out? Fuck, he stepped out at the 6th. Right.
Yep.
What up, Abano? Good to see you, buddy. That's the thing with USC. They didn't cover a lot, so their perception was like, they're overrated. They only beat Texas by this. They only beat fucking, Cal by 10 when they were laying 14. So they often sort of underachieve from a point spread perspective, but they play pretty good football down the stretch. Actually, I thought USC, and I think they match up talent-wise very well with Ohio State. I really do. I think Sam Darnold wants to go out on a high note with a big win for Helton and the program. They didn't win a national championship, but I think 7.5 is too many points.
Well, yeah, if you're going to give me 7 points, I'm going to take the points, surely. I do agree with you. They did play well late in the season. But, you have to go back to, again, with this group, USC. We do expect them to do well because I think they get the best talent. They have a pool, where they could literally pick anybody. I often wonder, I guess the coaching hire was interesting just because he wasn't a big name. He wasn't a guy that anyone ever really heard of. This is a team that you would consider maybe going back to Lane Kiffin. Why you ever let him go to begin with?
Yeah. Tennessee should have, but they pissed him off too much.
Oh yeah, he fucked up. But you have a case here with these teams. Both are playing well down the stretch.
It'll be a higher scoring game, yeah, guys. There should be a lot of points in this game. USC are as healthy as they've been, and it's a good point by Kyle Hamburg. Look forward to seeing you, Kyle, in Vancouver. That Urban Meyer, they didn't even hide their disappointment. They thought that they got screwed and they should have been in the title game.
You got to wonder where their head's at with this game.
No, but whatever. Last year they got in and Penn State did it. So, and then Ohio State got blasted. So that's why they're not in.
But the gripe this year was there. I mean,
they admitted after Urban Meyer. I remember, big man, when they announced the bowls, the USC kids were tweeting pictures out, and the program was tweeting pictures out, and it was like the NCAA sort of announcement type shit. Like they were cheering, and they were like, "Yeah, fucking." Right away, the comments after, "Can't wait to play in the Cotton Bowl." You know, great tradition against Ohio State. This is, we're really excited to go out and win 11 games, and couldn't be happier with our matchup. Ohio State was season Urban Meyer. Things didn't go the way we wanted, but we'll be prepared for this game. Like he sort of, cliche type of shit. Couldn't hide the disappointment. All right, so UCLA manning up right now. Of course, K-State gets to the 5-yard line and throws a pass and then puts himself in a bad spot.
The play calling's all wretched in this game.
I know, man.
K-State. I don't.
Bill Snyder's kid calling the plays here.
I'll admit, I have UCLA, but the play calling's wretched here. I mean, you have to run the football.
Like a TV to me too, man. Like, did they review that shit? That big fucking fullback, man, looked like he fucking got over the line, bro.
I agree.
Fuck, man, this fucking shit. They should review that last play. Fuck. You guys all say the same thing there, Gino and Shell Dog. I know.
Another barn burner tomorrow, Gabe. Iowa, Boston College. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, you know what? I got some numbers on this, though. Yes, let's jump in here. So, Iowa tomorrow. So, you know how, like, today we talked about it. We gave it away. We told people one of our few fucking winners, Utah. Kyle Whittingham just owns these bowl games. We talked about it on the show last night.
11-1.
Now 11-1 straight up, 9-3 against the spread. And conversely, on the other flip side of that, in the last 26 bowl games, West Virginia only covered 6 times. West Virginia always get rolled over in these fucking bowl games, and today was no exception.
Their quarterback was awful today.
I know.
He was terrible. Off the harbor to watch, that kid.
I know. So, we saw history repeat itself, which leads us into tomorrow's game. And for all the talk about Kirk Ferentz, this, and I remember a day, big man, hard to believe, but about 10 years ago or so, maybe a little less than that, Kirk Ferentz was rumored to be the next Pittsburgh Steelers coach. Like Kirk Ferentz, like, oh, Iowa's going to have to pay him real big because NFL teams want Kirk Ferentz. It's like, yeah, whatever. So here's that Kirk Ferentz fuck. Last 5 bowl games, 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the spread.
Yep.
Doesn't win bowl games.
No.
They don't. And how about this? Fucking ACC. The ACC versus the Big Ten in bowl games. When the ACC is getting points, when the ACC team is an underdog against a Big Ten team in a bowl game, they're 10-1 against the spread. 9-2 straight up. The Big Ten is 2-9 straight up. The last 11 bowl games against ACC teams, guys. And Boston College actually play a pretty spirited brand of football, big man.
They do, because A.J. Dillon is a man, 18 years old, but he runs hard. This is a weird game because it's in Yankee Stadium, so it's always kind of a weird. These baseball stadiums are always kind of weird to kind of deal with as far as bowls are concerned. But I like Ferentz. I'm one of the people that does like him. I think he's a good coach, but you can't go away from the fact that he's not been good in bowl games. 0-5, like you said.
Here it is, fourth and goal. You guys better fucking score here.
Yeah, let me know what happens here.
Yeah, he's in.
Touchdown.
He's 3 feet in the end zone. Look at this. What do you mean touchdown now? The guy was like practically in the 3rd row. Like K-State, big man. Are you not seeing this? K-State basically just fucking pushed the quarterback like into literally like the middle of the end zone. No,
yeah, I'm not sure what they were looking at there. I don't.
No, like honestly, it was like K-State said, "Well, we got it in last time and it didn't count it, so let's really get it in." And then the refs are all standing around with no time. Look at this. The kid is fucking 4 yards into the fucking end zone. Fuck. Like, look. Like,
you're right.
Like, look. The ref's like, no call. No call. Holy fuck. Finally a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know why that took that long.
You see that shit, Gino? They're like, The entire offensive line pile is in the end zone, refs. The quarterback is in the middle of that pile. Like, they couldn't see him, but does it matter? Like, the pile just moved, guys. Like, he's not there. You got three refs standing there looking at each other, and I'm like, what are you guys, doing? Like, the kid's lying in the end zone right now. Holy fuck, man.
Like, put your fucking hands up, for God's sakes. Yeah, I actually agree with you, though. BC looks like the player getting points. It's off that 3 number, though. So it's like, I would have rather 3. But
this is exactly what you and I were talking about earlier. This is no lock. It's just, if you're betting a game and you want to have some fun with it. All right, Southern Mississippi and Florida State. Like, only Florida State can fucking be in a bowl game when they're not eligible for a bowl game. But
and no one even cares. No one does anything about it. It's just, it's Florida State. Just let them go. They'll be all right.
No, I know. It's almost like, they lost their coach, so let's just, but basically it's not Florida State's fault. So if you're wondering if you heard the story, Florida State, they played against Delaware earlier in the year.
Delaware State, yeah.
Yeah, Delaware State. So they played against Delaware State, and I guess you need to have, I think it's 55 or 60. I think it's 60. You have to have 60 scholarship players on the field in uniform for it to count. Because remember years ago, big man, these games didn't count for your bowls and shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you beat Howard, that didn't count. Like, so what? Like, that doesn't count. That's not a real win. It's a win in the win-loss record, but it doesn't count for your mark against the bowl record to get into a bowl game. They changed it. So as long as there's 60 scholarship players. So I guess Delaware didn't have 60 scholarship players. That's the key here. So whatever. If they had 10 other shitheads on scholarship at Delaware State, were they beating FSU? No. So this isn't a case where FSU cheated or FSU did something and they shouldn't be eligible for a bowl. Fumble UCLA.
Wow.
K-State football. A little bit of energy here, guys. K-State, let's go.
Here they come.
Yeah, so that's the deal. But so people are now, the NCAA, though, they're fuckheads. Florida State can go to the game, but they don't know if they want to give them the official thing with their bowl streak. Florida State's been to 35 consecutive bowls, big man, 35 straight years. So the NCAA is like, you can play in a bowl game, but we don't know if this is going to count for your record. Which is fucking bullshit. It's not Florida State's fault. Fucking Delaware State lies about their scholarship players. You know what I mean?
Right. But again, they should be scheduling better. That shouldn't be on the schedule. Delaware State is not a team you should be playing in the middle.
What do you think about, I don't know if you heard us talking about this last night. Mm-hmm. What do you think of the Aaron Rodgers story? Do you know this?
I don't know.
So Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers comes back from injury. They lose the game against Carolina.
Oh, right. They were going to have to. Okay, yeah.
They put him back on IR.
Yeah. And they were.
So I understand why they put him on IR and they just didn't whatever because I guess they wanted another roster spot. The thing is, they violated the rules. He didn't re-injure himself, big man. There was no new injury. You can't just play willy-nilly with the fucking IR report.
Sure.
Like I said, even in fantasy football, you got, the IR is serious. You can't fuck around with it. It doesn't let you do things. So the Packers, by definition, big man, of the CBA rules and by the letter of the law, the Green Bay Packers must release Aaron Rodgers.
Right. That would be fair. Right.
Now, I'm not saying that I'm naive enough to say that Aaron Rodgers is going to say, fuck you, Green Bay. I got a loophole. I'm going to play for the Dallas Cowboys now or whatever, the Denver Broncos. We all know that's not happening. But by the letter of the law, they should be forced to release him, re-sign him, and have the fucking headache of trying to figure out this cap nightmare and what it means for the contract. And if I'm another NFL team, I want them to do this. If I'm a competitor in this division and we have the draft coming up in a couple of months, if I'm the Chicago Bears, I want the Green Bay Packers preoccupied going, holy fuck, we got to fucking go to some weird labor court here now and fucking get some arbitrator here to fucking handle this contract because, what is it? It's never been happened before and cause confusion for them. And the NFL, when Adam Schefter asked for a comment to the NFL saying, what's your stance on this? The NFL had no comment and said, we refer all comments to the Green Bay Packers. Why would you? That's like the police referring all comments to the criminal. You're the cop. You're the one supposed to say, well, yeah, it's against the law and we're going to do something about it. Mm-hmm. The NFL's not going to do anything about it. And I know this guy sounds extremely petty, but the thing is, if Aaron Rodgers got released, it really would be a contractual nightmare how they would handle this. Force them to go through that fucking nightmare, in my opinion. Big.
Right. Play by the rules next time. Right. I agree. I think you're totally right with it. When I heard about that, I agree.
So what are the Buffalo Bills? Are we allowed to just put guys on and off, or is it just for Aaron Rodgers?
Right. Why are we
down K-State?
Everyone else follows the fucking rules. Why can't they?
Yeah, no, exactly. So what about you guys? You allowed to just sign a new player, big man, for the Eagles for the playoffs? Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
hey, Packers, you guys don't respect the IR report. Why should we?
Right.
It's fucking bullshit, man.
I agree.
You know, and I guarantee you, if the Bills did this, they'd be on our ass, man. You know, they'd be all over us. What up, David St. George? Good to see you, buddy.
If it wasn't the Wonder Boy, Aaron Rodgers, they pick and choose what's you ever notice that the fucking disciplinary rules are fucking all over the place? They pick and choose who they suspend, who they don't.
North Carolina Tar Heels are the biggest violators ever, big man. These kids, they no one goes to class. Fucking people taking their exams. You ever notice too, big man, that they fucking nail the North Carolina football team all the time? Like every time there's like a punishment with the University of North Carolina, they're like, let's just take it out on the football team because we can't touch the basketball team.
Nobody cares about the football team, so we're about Duke football, UNC football, no basketball.
Exactly.
But by the way,
football, Alabama gets away with a lot of shit. Fuck you.
I want to tell you something. I really like Southern Miss tomorrow in this football game. This is a lot of points. I mean, why is this line so high? I don't know if anyone's aware. But Jumbo Fisher's gone. He's not coming back. Josh Sweat, their best defensive end, he's gone. He's not coming back. Tavares McFadden, he's out. Not coming back. Derwin James, the best secondary player in the country, gone. Not coming back. There's a lot of injury concerns here. A lot of players have left to go to the draft. They're not playing the bowl game. Why are they laying over 2 touchdowns? They're 3-8 against the spread, for Christ's sakes, in a game that they shouldn't be in to begin with. There's no talent on this team that, has stayed. A lot of them have left. Their defense is going to be a shell of what it once was. And this Southern Miss team is not bad. I mean, they could score points. They're a pretty good defense as well. They're top 40 in total defense in the country. Yep. And they cover numbers. Why are they 15-point underdogs?
Florida State, 0-7 this year against the spread against teams who are 500 or better. Not even like winning teams. Like if you had a 500 record, Florida State couldn't beat you.
Yeah.
0-7. They went 0-7, guys, against the spread against teams with a 500 or better mark.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at their against the spread wins. They came at the end of the year against Delaware State, Florida, who sucked all year, and UL Monroe.
Yeah, I mean, Florida. They played Florida when the fucking wheels fell off for Florida and shit, I
mean, this offense for Southern Miss is pretty good.
And that Florida game, that was an entertaining game, actually. It was no, I'm confusing. Sorry, I'm confusing the FSU game with the Miami Hurricane game. The Hurricane game was an entertaining game. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yeah. They won in the last
coming out party. Barrios,
Yeah, and Mark Richt, there was this big win there. Yeah, I remember. Sure. I
like it. I like the dog in that one as well. It's down to 15. It keeps coming down, but I understand why it's coming down right now.
And Willie Taggart, I mean, he'll be there, but it's going to be a Chip Kelly situation. So, I don't really understand the thought process here. I just don't. Why you would take Florida State, I don't get it.
All right, so what do you make of the Missouri and the Texas football game here, in which we get, it's pretty much Tom Herman as an underdog, right? That's the old, that's been the pattern and a very profitable one, and Tom Herman's the underdog here.
Well, you have that, and you also have the fact that, Texas is pretty damn good defensively, too. I mean, they had a great year on that side of the ball in the Big 12, which is not an easy thing to do. This is another big-time offense coming in. Missouri was real good all year, but that's the thing about Texas. They have that, ability to be really good defensively against teams like this. But you look at their injury report, another rap sheet. I mean, it looks like I'm looking at John Gotti's arrest record here. I mean, there's a lot of injuries on this injury report. It's a tough one, but I agree with you. It's hard to fade Tom Herman as a dog in this spot. I lean Texas.
Josh Heupel takes the job in Central Florida as well. He's not coaching in this game, is he?
Good question. I wouldn't imagine he would be, no.
No, I don't think he is either. All right, here it is. Wait, let's see. Missouri coach Barry Odom clears up who will call the plays.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be him.
With former Missouri offensive coordinator Josh Heupel accepting head coach of Central Florida, questions are being asked, who's calling the plays?
Joe Johnson.
Question was quickly answered. Joe John Finley, tight ends coach. That sounds promising.
That's slightly better than when that one team had.
You and I talking about coaching. This is what I'm glad we brought this up. I wanted to ask you. I want to put this on the table. So you're getting Tom Herman, great coach, great guys, an underdog. 4 weeks to prepare for a football game, and we got a tight ends coach calling the plays for Mizzou.
It was kind of like when SMU had G.J. Kinney calling plays.
Yeah,
offensive. What was he, like a grad assistant or something? That's about as good as that worked out. Yeah, listen, with Heupel gone, with the who knows what they're going to do there. The play calling is going to be a lot different, or not different, but it's going to be the way it's communicated, that kind of thing. Texas has some suspensions though, but I'm not looking to bet against Texas as an underdog. Just don't.
The thing is, in Brandon. Sorry to cut you off, big man, but Brandon's saying, and Brandon's a big Mizzou fan, so he's watched every game. The thing is, and Babano brought this up. I brought it up last week. Babano brought it up right after me because he didn't listen. He didn't hear me say it. But that's another story. Just bust your balls, Babano. But it's true. So you mentioned it. SMU. They lose Chad Morris. This is an offense that was scoring 40 fucking points a game. What is it, a turnover here? What just happened?
Look at UCLA.
And, we're getting some points here.
I think Brandon Boyd's stepping a little bit. I mean, I think it's hard to imagine he was calling plays for most of the year. I mean.
Yeah, let's be. Yeah, come on.
Josh Heupel.
Yeah,
he's a tight ends coach.
Okay, so Chad Morris leaves for Arkansas. SMU scored 40 points a game or 45 points a game during the regular season. Only Oklahoma State is the only other team that had a quarterback with 3,000 yards, 2 wide receivers with 1,000 yards each, and running back with 1,000 yards. SMU, what did they score? 7 points, 3 points, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, 10, I think.
Their offense was clueless. Oregon Ducks. I thought the Ducks would be fine. Justin Herbert's back. Oh, no problem. It's going to be fine. Willie Taggart's not there. Willie Taggart was calling the plays. And it wasn't fine. The Oregon Ducks offense was useless. You look at Jim Leavitt, the defensive coordinator, former South Florida head coach, defensive coordinator with the Ducks. He was still there. And what happened? The Ducks defense played great in that Las Vegas Bowl. They kept them in the football game. So that's two teams that we've seen without their offensive creators and fathers, babysitters, guiders, etc. Because I always figure, well, whatever. They're leaving the playbook behind. They're not like, oh, I'm taking the playbook. Yeah, they leave the playbook behind, but it really makes a difference. The sequence and the flow and how you're understanding it and how you talk to them.
And Gabe, listen also, 6 straight wins for Mizzou to end the season. 45 points or more, but they haven't played in a month. That's a long time to sit around. No, now your OC's gone. You see him bolt away. There's just a lot of thrown in things here.
But the coach is still there. That's a benefit. And I believe you, Brandon. I know we're not busting. I'm just busting your buzz. I believe you. But, it's at least the head coach is still there, but it is a little bit strange, Yeah,
and the track record, Brandon, is it hasn't worked for any other team. That's the thought process here. And listen, I'm not going to knock them. I think Drew Lock's a fantastic quarterback. I think Crockett's a great running back. But I do wonder about the validity of Missouri. I mean, they've had a good year, but Texas is pretty good too. It's a toss-up. You look at the number; it's a toss-up, and there's a lot of question marks.
Just so fucking clueless, though, aren't they, big man?
Say that one more time.
Texas's offense is so frustrating.
It can be. It
they're
really
like the Cleveland Browns, bro. They'll move. They really are. They're the Cleveland Browns of college football, Texas, on offense. What's the kid's name with the fucking Arizona? What's the quarterback's name?
Shane Bouchel.
No, the other kid, the with the Earhart, Engelhart. What's his fucking name?
Ellinger.
That's the kid, Ellinger. Yeah, this Ellinger kid. He reminds me of fucking Chris Sims. Fuck. So, yeah,
Chris Sims actually comes on Philadelphia Sports Talk all the time. I see him all the time.
Yeah, I don't know what Chris Sims got a weird accent for some reason. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Ellinger's just another one of these dumb blonde fucking Texas quarterbacks that he'll go 90 yards down the field. Great drive. And the fucking kid will turn it over, bro, on the 4-yard line and shit. Like, Texas' offense is so fucking frustrating.
Here's why, after everything we've said about this game, here's why I think if you like this game,
Ellinger's starting. Ellinger's the guy. He's the best guy they got.
But Gabe, you look at Missouri. They started the season 1-5. All the issues they've had at that program with somebody off the field stuff, just a lot of stuff that has went on. Now you're in a bowl. You've had a really good year. You've had a great end to the season. But we've seen a lot of these teams that have had great seasons, and they've had some turmoil at the coaching positions, and they've laid an egg. A lot of these spots look good for these teams. You have, a good quarterback. You have this and that. You've had a rebound, but you got to play the game, and it's a tough spot for Missouri, but it's a tough spot for Texas too. You mentioned Ellinger. He's one of those guys, the typical, he's rooted for Texas since he came out of the womb, that kind of guy, the good old boy that goes to Texas. But, you wonder how good the kid is. Herman as an underdog's great, but it's a tough one. Very tough game.
George back in the house. Dave's a longtime viewer of mine. He hasn't been around here at SBR very much. Maybe you popped in before, but welcome back, Dave St. George. Good to have you back on board. Big college football fan is Dave St. George. See, and he just brings up a point there about Josh Heupel. Is Josh Heupel, is he going to be a good head coach? I don't know. Like, I heard the link. I heard that Kevin Sumlin was going to be named head coach of Central Florida. Like, that's like not my sources, but I was reading, and basically I was reading like Orlando News and shit. And they were like, yeah, they're moving quickly on this, that they want to speak to Sumlin quickly because they think, Sumlin might get the Oregon job. And, Sumlin's name was bouncing around out there a lot. And then Central Florida turned around and hired Josh Heupel. Would you rather Kevin Sumlin or Josh Heupel if you're Central Florida?
Well, I'd rather have Scott Frost, but unfortunately he left. So
I think Kevin Sumlin at a smaller school like that would be a good fit, personally.
Maybe like a Charlie Strong type. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Settle down, Jared West. Listen, Jared West, you're an Iowa fan. You think they're going to win every week. Settle down. He definitely loves his Iowa. I'll give him that. But yeah, it's definitely Sumlin. I would agree.
The Pinstripe Bowl normally has been these crazy higher scoring games, but
yeah,
fuck, this should be a real lunch pail game tomorrow. Boston College.
You would think it's going to be 13-7, but I'm sure, like every other game, it'll be 14-14 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I would definitely take. I mean, Josh Heupel. I mean, what exactly? He's one of these guys that you ask yourself, what exactly has he done to warrant being a head coach? I mean, really? I mean, can you tell me what he's done? I mean, this is his career.
He's Heisman Trophy winner, right?
Right. When was that? I mean, that was many years ago.
It wasn't that long ago, but yeah. So
I think it was like 2000-ish.
So he's a national champion. I'm not looking at anything. So off the top of my head, national champion quarterback.
Yeah.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Correct. He then was the tight end
or offensive assistant or quarterbacks coach with the Oklahoma Sooners.
He was
assistant coach, whatever.
He was a grad assistant at Oklahoma. Then he became a tight ends coach at U of A.
All right.
Then he became a quarterbacks coach back at Oklahoma.
This guy's really paid his dues, though, big man. That's the way you do it. Fuck,
I guess he did. I mean, I'll be real. I mean, I haven't heard of the fucking guy until like the last year or two. But
right. Yeah. We're a little older, but no, like it's not like Josh Heupel was given anything. The guy became a tight end coach, at UVA. Like, he worked his way up the coaching ladder,
Yeah, but why do I get the feeling he's just going to be a good coordinator? I mean, and then you look at the article. He guided Sam Bradford, who won the Heisman Trophy. I'm sure he had so much to do with him winning the Heisman Trophy. I don't know. But is he ready for this? I don't know.
Well, look, you mentioned Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Pretty good success with Drew Lock as well.
Sure.
But, I'll tell you, though, one thing, though, being an offensive mind doesn't mean you're a good head coach, right?
Well, I mean, look at Major Applewhite at Houston. I mean, a lot of these guys are going to have – you're not going to be successful your first year. That's where people go wrong. I mean, they think that a guy's going to come in and be great right away. They think Jeff Tedford's going to be like every other coach, going to come in and turn a 1-12 program around, and they're going to go win a bowl game. It doesn't usually work like that. I'm not saying he's a bad hire, Buster Douglas. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying –
wondering, we don't know.
Exactly
he's out. We don't know. Exactly.
And the question is, like Kingsbury, that's a great example. Cliff Kingsbury's awful. I don't know how he continues to get year after year.
Kingsbury should be an offensive coordinator. Like, exactly. I don't know how he's a head coach. Like, when I look at him, big man, listen, like, I remember him vividly as a quarterback still. Like, he's so young. But when I look at Kingsbury, he looks like a high school coach to me. I'm like, dude, like, I can't, like, do you even know about a defense? Like, are you
He's a wannabe Lane Kiffin. That's what he is. He's a wannabe
That's a good call. He's a wannabe Lane Kiffin.
He's had a losing record at Texas Tech. His teams, like you said, play absolutely no defense. He's supposed to be this big quarterback guy. What has he done exactly as a quarterback? I mean, you have Mahomes, who was a system guy. I mean, whether he'll have success to the next level, no one knows. Great scouting. I mean, this is the same guy that decided that Baker Mayfield wasn't good enough. He decided Davis Webb wasn't good enough. Great scouting by this guy. I mean, really. Why are we giving him?
He ran Baker Mayfield out of town.
Well, what has this guy done? Explain to me what this guy has done to warrant continue to being a coach.
Good point.
I don't see it.
So he ran Baker out of town. He ran Davis Webb out of town.
Right. They weren't good enough for Cliff.
Yeah, but okay, so is it a system? But we got to give him credit. Davis Webb's in the NFL right now. Whatever. He's not going to be a starter.
But that wasn't at Texas Tech.
Good point. So that was Jeff
when you look at Davis Webb, Jeff
Tedford that taught him. All right, what about Mahomes, though? Mahomes is a Kingsbury guy. But Mahomes is just an athlete, right?
That's the thing. I don't think his offense requires little talent. I mean, you just have to be able to be a decent quarterback, and you can do well in that offense. The jury's out on. I think Mahomes was drafted way too high. I don't think he's to me. And listen, you're going to have gaudy numbers in that system, Gabe. It's the truth. I mean, you literally throw 70% of the time. They're literally among the worst run offenses.
Oh, I know. I remember the old Hawaii quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Remember the Colt Brennan and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. The Timmy Chang. Yeah.
Like big deal.
Right. And it's like, be real, Gabe. I mean, Mahomes, all we heard about him was in his senior year, 2016, and he had 5 yards because, like I said, they literally throw the ball on every play. I mean, I don't respect the Big 12. I never have. I never will. It's a shitty. It's a shitty conference, man. Every year.
Oh, like the big man's like, I don't respect them. I never have, and I never. No, I won't respect the Big 12.
Why do I respect them? And that's why, to me, Baker Mayfield is going to be a fucking failure at the next level. He's too small. We can't judge him on how good he is. Is he a great player? Yes, but he did not face any defenses worth a fucking hell in a handbasket. This fucking league sucks. They're not any good. They never win shit. And they're failures year after year. And Cliff Kingsbury is a prime example. If you're a Texas Tech fan, I would be up in arms every fucking year. I mean, this guy sucks.
I'm thinking off the top of my head right now. About Big 12 quarterbacks in the NFL that have been drafted. Who can you think of, big man, recently? Who's a Big 12 quarterback that's been drafted into the NFL? I think a Big 12 quarterback in the NFL, Vince Young comes to mind. But is there a guy now who's starting in a Big 12 now in the NFL?
Okay, let's go through the quarterbacks currently through the NFL now.
Is there a Big 12 starting quarterback?
No, not that I know of.
And off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
There isn't. Because this fucking league sucks. It's shitheads. Sam Bradford. I mean, he's like the only one I can think of.
Yeah, no, he's not. Yeah, and he's technically not.
Where's he?
Yeah. He's not playing.
It's a shitty league, man. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a league that it's most. I mean, what other league has Kansas in it? What other league? I mean, Iowa State shit every year until this year. I mean, these defenses are awful, awful. Even Baylor, for as good as team as they've been, over the last couple years, they didn't play any fucking defense. The league sucks. And you make a great point. Name one quarterback in the NFL right now that's doing anything.
You mentioned Baylor, RG3,
but
which was a bust. Yeah.
I mean, Sam Bradford, that's literally it. There's no one else. I mean, if you can give me one viable reason Cliff Kingsbury is a good coach, I want to hear it because I just don't see it. Andy Dalton, there you go. There's another one.
Oh, Andy. No. Andy Dalton, fucking TCU is Andy Dalton's a Mountain Western.
Yeah, because when he was there, yeah, you're right.
Andy Dalton's a Mountain Western, guys. He wasn't, he's not a Big 12 guy.
Brandon Weeden doesn't count. Geno Smith, I mean, what a joke. And I don't, I guess
Smith, you're right. And I knew touchdown K-State. I knew
Bryce Petty.
Kid on K-State just gave the finger to the UCLA fans.
I'm sure.
Look at the replay.
Spill will love that one. But see what we're doing here. We're just totally grasping for straws. I mean, we're literally grasping for straws on what. I mean, every other league.
It's not just quarterbacks. Look at all the other guys. Tavon Austin. West Virginia players are shit in the NFL. Like, don't take them. Like, we're onto something with Big 12 players in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, look at all these guys.
They're not bad for running backs. There's a few.
Well, look at some of the receivers. Josh Doxson. I mean, Corey Coleman. I mean, they're okay, but they're nothing special. I mean, none of these guys are big time, players. I mean, I want to go through the best receivers in the league. Are there any from the Big 12? I'm going to honestly take a look here because I don't think there are.
I'm in the water here, but I can hear you. Off the top of my head, best receivers, SEC, man. AJ Green, Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins is ACC. Like, who's the best receivers? Oh, Antonio Brown, Mac, but that.
I mean, your best receiver from the Big 12 is Dez Bryant, and Dez Bryant's been very average over the last year plus. I mean, Oklahoma's that's your only one, Dez Bryant. It's a shit league, man. I mean, it's shit. I mean, in the Big 12, you should have a ton of good wide receivers in the league that are from the Big 12. It's a passing league. I mean, what is this league? Jeremy, he's SEC. Mike Evans, he's SEC. Allen Robinson, he's not Big 12. I mean, Dez Bryant is the only viable guy. I mean, we're literally grasping for straws here with some of these people. I mean, it's amazing.
Look at Odell Beckham, SEC, LSU.
SEC, Jarvis Landry, SEC.
I think SEC had the best wide receivers, bro. Big guys, fast guys.
Of course. There's nothing about the Big 12 that has any. I mean, what
about the Pac-12 though? The Pac-12 is very Big 12ish, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you have some semblance of defense there. You have the Utahs, you have the Washingtons, you have the generally you have the USCs, you have the
I mean, we can talk all we want about the Big 12 sucking. They're kicking the shit out of a Pac-12 team right now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and I know Josh Rosen isn't there, but still, they're still dominating them right now.
Jeremy Macklin's from Missouri. That's the SEC there, pal.
Missouri, though, and Macklin's a Big 12 player. He never played in the SEC.
Okay, well, so that's your best receiver, Jeremy Macklin.
Yeah, Macklin is from the Big 12.
It's a bad league. You're not going to – and I think most of the people in here would agree. It's a shit league. But, yeah, I mean, Pac-12 is similar, but you still have had some decent players come out of that group. And, the football's way better, I think.
The ACC has come on as the best conference recently.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. They've won
2 of the last 4 Heismans. Look, Clemson are the defending champions. They've been in the last two national championship games. Jameis Winston won the Heisman. Deshaun Watson won the Heisman. Clemson have a legitimate chance of winning the championship again this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's issues with all the conferences, frankly, but I think I would agree with you. It's the best one. The Big Ten was down this year. They'll be better. They've had some teams come on lately. Michigan will be better next. Michigan with Shea Patterson is going to be great. That's a big-time quarterback finally.
That's the thing, big man, that people bitch about Harbaugh. Anyone that knows college football or follows Michigan at all knows that they lost everybody. Michigan set a fucking record, guys. So people are like, oh, I read the mainstream media. And yes, I'm frustrated we haven't beaten Ohio State and Michigan State more. As in, we've only beaten them once out of 5 times. But you can say, oh, Harbaugh is a failure. He sent 13 guys to the NFL last year. That's not a failure, right? I mean, he puts them in a tough spot this year. You lose 13 guys to the NFL. So you're right. The Big Ten was a little down this year, but they sent so many fucking guys to the NFL last year. Between Ohio State and Michigan, they sent 23 guys to the NFL. That's a lot of talent to lose, dude.
But you can't get away from the fact that, Gabe, other than – I don't know if you consider, like, Denard Robinson a good college quarterback. He pretty much was. But other than that, since Chad Henne, who have they had as a quarterback at Michigan? Really? Honestly. Nobody. I mean,
was okay.
They've had a bunch of stiffs, man. Tate Forcier, Milton Spate, Ryan Mallett. I'm just shit. I mean, John O'Corn, Shea Patterson, Gabe, I fucking love. I love the kid. I think he is a star. I loved him at Ole Miss.
I'm telling you, Michigan are playoff contenders next year, dude.
I agree. As long as the
honeymoon will end. Like next year, even me, I'm a little frustrated, but we should have. I'm not going to lie. Harbaugh chokes in big games. He choked in the Super Bowl. They had the ball first and fucking goal from the 4-yard line, and they didn't punch it in, right? We've seen it with Michigan. Harbaugh has often had a hard time in end zone, goal line situation for some reason. And in big games, Harbaugh has always been a bridesmaid. It just is. It's the way it is. He beat USC a lot. That was about it. But with that being stated, I'm happy with him as a coach. I understood this year was going to be a little rough. The quarterback play was worse than any of us expected, to be honest. O'Corn was just worse than – but the patience will run thin, and they killed it in recruiting again. They had so many kids starting this year, guys. Michigan are going to be fucking peaked next year. And as Big Man's talking about, you throw Shea Patterson into the Big Ten, dude, he lit up the SEC, man. You drop this kid in with the talent – we got this kid, that Dante Peoples kid. He's a good baller, dude. We got some stud wide receivers that just, we didn't have quarterbacks and get them the ball. We had guys that were open all the fucking time, bro. But with Spate and the O'Corns of the world couldn't get him the ball. I mean, even Peters is an average quarterback, and he looked like great. Our offense moved with him there suddenly.
They need a spicy quarterback to come in there and spice that offense up. They're boring offense. They have a great defense.
Is world class.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, they're going to be a futures ticket for me, sure as hell. As soon as I can start betting them, I'm betting them because I love Patterson. They're going to have a whole offseason to get it right. By the way, DC Driver, you were blocked probably because you said something fucking stupid. It's my Twitter. I can block who I want. I don't block people for no reason. I'm sure you said something stupid. That's probably why you got blocked.
I never block people on Twitter, but I actually did tonight. I'm sure the fuckhead's tuning in. And the only reason I blocked you, fuckhead, I don't really give a shit about you. You're just insignificant to me. But you're a fucking tool, and you fucking jump in on every fucking tweet, and you fucking tweet other of my followers and shit like that.
Yep, time to go.
You're just a loser parasite. Like, if you just tweeted at me and talked shit to me, I would just ignore you like I always do. But it's annoying that every time someone tweets me, you respond to them, and you get in on everything. You're a parasite, all right?
Gabe, usually when someone has to ask why they were blocked, there's probably a reason why.
Yeah, it's like the guy that said I blocked him because I got mad because he said I shot. Big Man, you really think I kicked someone out because I got mad about Walmart?
I do remember that, actually. That was pretty funny. But Buster Douglas is talking about, listen, I got to tell you, Buster, I mean, McCaffrey's not starting over Shea Patterson. Sorry. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So Shea will be there for the next couple of years. There's no way Max or the Dylan McCaffrey starting over Shea Patterson. No fucking way.
Yeah, and so it's not official though that Patterson is eligible, right? It is. It is. They're not going to screw him. They're not going to screw Harbaugh over here. But he does have to ask for a waiver. Like Ole Miss said, all right, you can go anywhere you want. And so besides the SEC, et cetera. But so he's at Michigan, but it's just a formality. But I'm telling you, who knows at the NCAA? Like Michigan, he has one more hoop to jump through, just paperwork with the NCAA. And NCAA are nut jobs, right? You never fucking know.
And he's going from no coach to
Jim Harbaugh.
We think a very good coach. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if Harbaugh doesn't make this happen, we really got to look at what's going on with Jim Harbaugh because he has not developed a quarterback at all.
He hasn't, but okay. So was it just Andrew Luck was great and Harbaugh happened to be there? He did look, Josh Johnson. You know Josh Johnson, San Diego Torero quarterback.
Yeah.
Harbaugh started his coaching career at San Diego before he went to Stanford. So he's San Diego Torero, Stanford, San Francisco, Michigan. So, hey, Josh Johnson was a Division II quarterback with the San Diego Toreros. Guy's been in the NFL for 8 or 9 years. He's a multimillionaire. Probably played 4 games in his life, but he's a multimillionaire. That was with Harbaugh. Andrew Luck, Harbaugh. Colin Kaepernick, Harbaugh. Kaepernick was a nobody. He became a star with Harbaugh and became a nobody after Harbaugh. But I can't – so he's had big success with quarterbacks, but I can't disagree. It's been 3 years at Michigan, and there's been just nothing but crap.
No, every quarterback he's had has been awful. Harbaugh was solid with Spade. What the hell have you watched? Buster Douglas, you have to be a troll. You can't be this stupid, honestly. I mean, I don't see at all what you're saying there. Spade's shit.
No, I'll tell you what. Harbaugh saw himself in Wilton Spade. Right? And Harbaugh was better. But Harbaugh saw himself. Like, they even looked the same. Like, I'm telling you, Harbaugh just liked the kid, saw himself in him, figured, he could be my Joe Flacco.
Gabe, I have to interrupt. Buster Douglas seems strikingly like a follower that I don't like very much on these channels. He types a lot like him, I got to tell you.
I think you're right, actually.
And I think I know who we're talking about.
You're right. Yeah.
It's pretty fucking funny.
The avatar's green. You're right.
I got to tell you, it's all some random name now. He types exactly like that guy. Interesting. You know what? And we're talking to the Big 12 team, a conference he thinks he knows everything about. It's pretty interesting all of a sudden. This guy comes out of nowhere under an assumed name. You know who exactly we're talking about, Buster Douglas. We're on to you, pal.
I thought about that tonight, too. When I blocked these fuckers and shit, I'm like, God even knows. I'm like, these guys could be in the chat under one of these names. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Sure. We can all smell it here. We all know.
To me, hey, it actually matters to me. The more views, the better, right? So even if they're fuckhead trolls and shit, you guys are helping me out with the numbers. So
Yeah. Now he'll go on a rant about how he's not who we think he is. We know who you are, Buster Douglas. I can smell you from a mile away, pal. But yeah, what were we talking Eagles tonight or what?
Okay, yeah. So you joined in last night and you joined in at the worst time. And it's funny because I can see your perspective. You're like, my favorite team just wraps up home field. We're 13-2. Yeah, how about a little love? You know what I mean? Like, you come in here.
I was really coming in to just bust balls. Really.
I'm just like right away. Your team ain't shit, man. Fucking garbage. Fucking bullshit. And like fucking. I was like, even after the show, I was like, I don't know, maybe we were a little hard, all of us.
No.
I know. We're all having fun, but I even said, I'm like, all of us in the chat, even all these. The first time I ever used the chat is like for me. I'm like, all of us in the chat agree. The Eagles suck.
No, I heard you. You're like, big man, we all agree here. The Eagles are not winning a game in the playoffs. We all agree here. Everyone agrees here. Listen.
People didn't like you dropping the Bills. We have a lot of Bills fans in the chat, right? So you're like, well, you were just fucking around.
No, I was. I know it gets you guys going. And listen, I don't think any Eagle fan that knows anything about football will honestly say Nick Foles played well. You can't. But I think with the Eagles, is Nick Foles who we saw against the Giants, or is he the guy we saw last night? And is the defense, Gabe, what we saw last night, or was the defense we saw against the Rams and Giants? That's the concern with this team, because it seems like whenever they get good quarterback play with Nick Foles, the defense doesn't play well, and it's the other way around. It's one game. Nick didn't play well, unfortunately. But I do think we did see an advantage for the Eagles last night with it is very difficult, Gabe, to play in that kind of weather. I mean, it's cold, it's windy. You know, if you're not used to that, it can – I mean, the ball flies a different way. I mean, we have a guy named Seth Joyner. I don't know if you remember him, played for the Eagles. He's an analyst here, and he was talking about just how it is to play in a game like that. It's tougher to run. It's tougher to do anything. That's going to be a huge advantage for the Eagles. But no feasible fan will tell you that he played well last night. And the question is he that quarterback, or is he the guy we saw at points against the Giants? That's the big question.
I'm concerned. Obviously, Nick Foles, like you said, it was one game last night. That's the problem with Nick Foles, though. He can be really good, and then he can be Nick Foles. He's surrounded with talent, yet we saw last night, big man, I didn't see a coaching staff that had a lot of confidence in the quarterback. The play calling became very, they really just sort of grinded themselves to a victory last night. My concern is the secondary, big man. And a good look, Eli Manning carved them up. All right. Eli Manning went up and down the field. Last night, a Raider team kept fucking hitting deep passes. Guys were open all the time for the Raiders in bad weather. If you have to face a Jared Goff again, who lit them up last time when he played them, if you have to play a Jared Goff, or you got to play a fucking Drew Brees.
But Gabe, here's the thing. Here's where I'm a little bit in disagreement. The whole thing about LA is Eagles beat them. And Jared Goff, was he effective in that game, or was it Todd Gurley? Because I thought Gurley, and can Brees come in and play that way out, in the elements?
That's a good point. You bring up Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley might be the best player.
He's the MVP. He's the MVP.
But yeah, he won't get the MVP, but Brady, I think Brady will, because Wentz got hurt. Wentz would have been in the mix. But yeah, like right now, nobody's playing better football in the NFL over the last 4 weeks than Todd Gurley.
And again, we have to ask ourselves, what is the MVP? It's the most valuable player. He has been the most valuable player on that team all year. He should win.
Now, White Guy Video Games is saying Goff and cold weather is a problem. We don't know if that's a problem. We haven't seen it.
I think
I don't know. I mean, he went in the Pacific Northwest in the rain last week and fucking destroyed Seattle. We don't know. I mean, like, that's the thing. It could be a problem for Jared Goff, but we don't know if it's a problem for Jared Goff. Yeah, Jared Goff is the quarterback that played at Cal. So is Aaron Rodgers. Right? So I don't know. We don't know if that. And the thing, guys, White Guy Video too as well, that's the thing with the Rams that we're talking about. The Rams aren't some sort of spread offense, flaky type of, dome offense type shit. Todd Gurley's a 245-pound fucking – the guy's a fucking beast. They can run the football in bad weather. They can't stop the run. Every team has a weakness. I think the NFC is wide open, big man. But I just think you guys have problems. It's a shame, because with Wentz, you could have went to the Super Bowl.
And that's why I'm so irritated as in certain ways with the Eagles and what they did through the draft. I mean, why you took Sidney Jones when you're well aware you need a cornerback. I don't get it. It was a terrible draft pick. If Sidney Jones plays, which he may, I know he's been practicing, but what makes no sense, Gabe, is you knew you needed a cornerback, and you thought you'd compete this year. Why not take a quarterback that's healthy? You then had to settle. You had to give up picks to go and get Ronald Darby, who gets injured again when he comes to Philadelphia. You had to go all those weeks without him. And then you bring Darby back. Rasul Douglas hasn't played, so it's thrown off the momentum there. And now you still need a quarterback, and you're going to maybe try to put Sidney Jones in, and that's going to throw off the momentum. They've had so many injuries all year. It's such a shame, because it seems like every big player they got injured at some point. But you got to move on. Next man up, Gabe, as they say. Luckily, they're going to get home field.
We're trying to figure out who they're going to play. It's so hard. I think, last night I was saying, right, the Panthers or the Saints. But it actually most likely is the Rams, big man. I was thinking about this. So you're number 1. Rams are number 3.
Yeah.
So the Rams will have to play in week 1 of the playoffs. They'll host a team. So the Rams will play against the 6th team.
Seattle.
And then the 4-5.
Seattle.
Exactly. So Seattle or Atlanta go into LA. The winner of that game, if the Rams, it depends on what happens in the first week, but let's say everyone that's supposed to win wins. Like the Rams win. Therefore, the Rams, you guys would probably play the Rams. They'd be the 3 seed. And then the 4 and the 5 would play. No, so you'd play the winner of I think it's the winner of the Saints and Panthers. I think I was right the first time. It's kind of confusing because we don't know who the 6th team is right now, but I think there's a good chance you play the Saints or the Panthers, big man. And I think you could beat Cam Newton. I mean, Cam Newton's kind of flaky, You already beat him this year in Carolina.
Right, and that was, again, with Carson Wentz. But, Carolina doesn't really bother me. I think they're a team that I think the Eagles can beat. Listen, I know you like the Rams. I just don't have a good feeling about them traveling to Philadelphia to play. I don't know if that will work as well for them. They're not a good run defense, as you and I have talked about. That's a concern. How good are they on defense? That's a concern also. They've regularly gotten carved up this year. I got to tell you, the team I'm concerned with would be New Orleans. That would be the team that –
they're a dangerous team against you guys.
Because
what about – you're not a big Doug Peterson fan, and are you a little worried about Peterson's play calling and decision-making in a playoff game?
Doug has improved significantly with that, but they need to stick to continue to run the football. Look, Carson's gone. Stop calling it like Carson Wentz is still there. But I will admit, last night, I think we're putting a lot of blame on Nick Foles, which I think it's a bit unwarranted. The receivers were not getting open at all. I mean, no one played well for the Philadelphia Eagles last night other than the defense for most of the game. They had that double move, which is bad, and they need to clean that up. But other than that, defensively, they played out of their mind. They were forcing turnovers. The whole offense didn't play well. Zach Ertz is dropping passes. Alshon Jeffrey can't get open. Torrey Smith has been among the worst free agent signings I've seen this team make. He's been an absolute failure. They weren't really able to run the ball a ton either. Nick was bad, but Jason Kelce was throwing the ball low, snap-wise. Offensive line had penalties. Lane Johnson was poor. But, Doug needs to run the football. That's the key. But New Orleans is a team. They can run the ball. They have a great quarterback. Defensively, they've improved significantly. And I remember a couple years ago, I remember being there like it was yesterday. They came in. That was when Chip Kelly was there. They beat the Eagles. They're the team that I worry about, personally. That's the team I don't want to see until at least the NFC Championship.
No, they're a dangerous team. Let me just pop open some futures now. So it's 28-17 with under 5 minutes remaining.
What a brutal – This is a brutal one, man.
I need another touchdown for the over 27.5.
Tough. This is tough. I mean, they were up 17-7. I'm getting 6.5. What a brutal. This is a brutal.
Can you imagine, big man, if we took K-State minus 3.5 in the second half, and we took over 27.5. Can you imagine if we hit this with K-State outscoring them 28-0 in the second half?
This is pretty amazing. I have to ask Brett Peterson, what exactly am I delusional about? I mean, what have I said in this conversation that's delusional? I'd like to hear it.
No, I'm honestly asking. You know me. I'm not scared to disagree with you. I don't think anything you said is delusional.
I'm asking him. What exactly is he? I'd like to hear what you mean, Brett, because you called me delusional. I want to hear what you mean. Because I don't think at any point I said, there's no way the Eagles are losing. It's not going to happen. I don't want to face New Orleans. I think they would beat the Eagles. But I'm not as in love with the Rams as maybe you are. Maybe you're a Rams fan. I don't know. But, I'd like to hear what I'm delusional about.
No, I'm Eagle fans. I was slow to buy in on the Rams. I'm just, I've lost a couple of times this year betting against the Rams.
Sure.
But I think the team to beat personally in the NFC are the Vikings. To me, that's the team to beat. To me, the Vikings and the Eagles and the Rams, like the three. But if I had to pick one, the Vikings. To me, Mike Zimmer is the best coach in football next to Bill Belichick, and they're so good defensively. They just attack, and it's so hard to move the ball on them. they like playing defense. Like, they enjoy it. Like, fucking, you can tell. They're like, let's push them backwards. Like, fucking, their defense is suffocating. And offensively, they're so efficient. Fuck. Like, you can say, oh, Case Keenum this, whatever, man. Adam Thielen's always touchdown K-State. We need the extra point now. Adam Thielen is always fucking open. Stephon Diggs is fucking awesome. I don't know how they do it with Latavius Murray and McKinnon and these guys, big man. They really have a bunch of guys that no one else really wanted, to be honest with you. Everyone in the NFL could add Case Keenum. Nobody wanted him. Latavius Murray, fuck, people are like, he's overrated, he's overpaid, he sucks. They lose Dalvin Cook. They lose Bradford. And you go down the list, it's fucking crazy how good they are.
I find interesting, Gabe, about you on one level. It is interesting because the Vikings have had pretty much the exact same profile as the Eagles. Exact same. Haven't beaten anyone really that good. Step up a comp, lose the Panthers. They have a backup quarterback at this point.
The difference is
they have the defense, which
Zimmer's been doing this for 4 years now, dude.
Sure.
Every year, Mike Zimmer's been in the plus money against the spread. Even last year, when he had a bad year, he was 9-7 ATS. Like, it's finally coming together for them. I mean, this is the football team. This is the football team that, knocked on the door a couple of years ago. And if fucking Blair Walsh isn't a fuckhead that can't fucking make a 17-yard field goal, they advanced in the playoffs that time,
Yeah, no, they're an interesting team.
It's hard, like your boys. It's Sam Bradford and Case Keenum there.
Keenum's never played for the Eagles, but Sam has, obviously.
You know what? I always think of Case Keenum and Kevin Cobb as the same guy too.
Yeah, no, it was Kevin Cobb. I think you're thinking of, Drew.
He was a quarterback.
Yeah, sure.
You know what's funny though? Jeff Fisher, I remember last year, Jeff Fisher stating at a time, he goes, if Case Keenum was my quarterback all year, we'd be in the playoffs right now. Does anyone remember him saying that? I'll punch in the quote right now.
Jeff Fisher. I don't ever remember saying that. Again, I don't know why I talk about the Eagles on this channel, because people extremely don't have no idea what I'm talking about. I never said the Vikings defense was near the Eagles. I never made that point. I said their profiles are very similar. And if you would have waited, I would have mentioned, but the difference is defensively, they're better. That's what I was going to say. But yeah, I mean, again, the Eagles are in a tough spot at this point. I mean, we'll see. They do have the home field, which is good, but we'll see. I mean, it's at one point, what is Case Keenum going to fuck up? I mean, at some point, he's got to fuck up at some point, doesn't he? I don't know. He hasn't yet.
So I gotta love Jeff Fisher's development. I'm just looking at some old quotes here. Jeff Fisher says Jared Goff isn't even good enough to be the backup on the Rams. He's like, if I had Case Keenum all year, we would have made the playoffs. So I remember him saying that. And I remember thinking to myself, fucking Fisher, what are you, a fucking idiot? And now here's Case Keenum right now getting it done. Case Keenum's been playing good football. I think Case Keenum can lead the Vikings into the Super Bowl. But I start to wonder, like, is Case Keenum beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, big man? That's the thing.
No.
Is Nick Foles beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to.
I think right now, if I would have to make a guess on who is going to the Super Bowl, I would say New Orleans and
the Saints defense is starting to show some cracks, though, big man.
Listen, I think you're right, though. I think it's a total – like, it wouldn't surprise me if any of these teams made the Super Bowl. It wouldn't surprise me.
Listen, the Panthers, the Eagles, the Vikings – the Rams.
I will say this. I don't think
Seahawks, bro, who as dysfunctional as they are, won't be easy to beat in the playoffs.
I'll take them out. I do not think the LA Rams can make the Super Bowl. They're the one team I don't think will win. I think they will be exposed in the playoffs. I think. It's just my opinion. I think Minnesota could gladly get there. I think, the Eagles are a bit of a concern, but every other team, Saints, Vikings, Panthers wouldn't surprise me. They have that, they do have Cam Newton. Their defense has played better. I just don't think they're ready, the Rams. I think they're a year or two. They're going to be really good. Goff's going to be, he's already a good quarterback. McVay's a star. Defensively, they have some problems. Gurley's great, but do they have enough? I don't know. There's just something that rubs me the wrong way about them. I agree with Jared West. I think they're going to be a bit of a fraud as the playoffs.
I think with the Rams, though, they've got a rookie coach in McVay. They have a lot of vets, though, on the team as well. They've got 7 guys that are first or second round draft picks, which is a shitload of talent on the field. But they have a few dudes that have been in the league in a while. Wade Phillips has won Super Bowls. Wade Phillips has been around. And people don't give credit to Wade Phillips, but Sean McVay's talked about it. Sean McVay, when the offense is on the sideline, McVay doesn't even watch the game. McVay goes and he sits down, which is very unorthodox for a head coach. You know what I mean? So McVay sits down with Goff and they go over plays, and he's very hands-on with the offense. You'll see him look up at the scoreboard and shit at the screen. And he was asked about it, and he goes, no, man, because I got Wade Phillips. He goes, Wade knows what he's doing. He goes, I don't run the defense anyways. Wade runs the defense. And he goes, Wade's been a head coach. And basically he said, there's not a thing that I've asked Wade Phillips that he didn't know. We're going on the road this, we're doing this, what about this, what about that? Wade Phillips has seen it, been there, and done it, and he doesn't get credit. Wade Phillips never gets credit anywhere he is, but I don't know. You look at Wade Phillips, and the teams he's on seem to win a lot. Say what you will about old Wade, fuck. You're like, damn, man, Wade was there. He was there too. I don't know, man. Wade just seems to be around where teams win, and in the room, Wade talks and shit a lot, big man. Sean McVay will say, and Wade's going to say a few words. Wade will talk, and the players look up to Wade Phillips. They love him. And like I said, it really helps. The Rams, rookie coach, young quarterback, but having Wade Phillips around there is really, really helpful to them. He's been around forever. He's been a head coach. He's seen it all in the league. It helps them a lot.
Yeah, the problem, though, is, at some point, you're going to have to play some defense, and they just.
I think you're a Rams hater. You think everyone's an Eagle hater. It sounds like you're a Rams hater.
The truth of the matter is they don't stop the run. I'm not sure what to.
They're an awesome football team. They got an explosive offense, great special teams, and Todd fucking Gurley.
Listen, I hear you. Listen, I'm just on here as giving my opinion. Some of my opinions maybe people don't like, but I got to be real. A lot of them I'm pretty right on a lot of the time. I don't think they're going to get to the Super Bowl. Just my opinion. You talk about the Rams. They didn't beat the Eagles. We forgot they did lose that game. They weren't able to finish it out. Goff is just a little too young for me. Gurley's a great player.
That game was really one of those whoever had the ball last. But Goff fumbled.
Sure.
Rams had the ball and he fumbled. You know what I mean? The Eagles won the game, but
yes, I don't think. I think it's going to be
the Rams. The Rams went up and down the fucking field on them, though. They lost, but I don't think their confidence was right.
It's interesting, Gabe. You call me a Rams hater. I actually called this. I told everyone this would happen. Donnie Wright said this team would win 3 games.
I know. Earlier in the year, you did. You did.
I liked them. I'm not saying I don't like them. I just don't. I think they're going to have a little bit of a problem in the playoffs. They're going to have to go on the road. They're going to have to find ways to win on the road. And you look at these other teams, the Saints. You look at it's McCaffrey or even with the Eagles. A lot of these teams can run the football. They have to start to stop the run. It's not been good enough. But all these teams, it wouldn't surprise me if any of them won the NFC. I think it's going to be the Saints, though, I have to say.
Right now, the Vikings are plus 225 favorites. The Eagles are plus 400. The Rams are plus 425. The Saints are plus 425. The Carolina Panthers, we haven't talked about. My deal, I'd like to say the Panthers could go on a run and make it to the Super Bowl, but I just have a hard time believing they play well 3 weeks in a row. They're so inconsistent. Fuck, it's frustrating. But Carolina are another team that they're not fun to play against. If Carolina brings their A game in a playoff game, and Cam Newton is running you over, and that's the thing. In the playoffs, Cam Newton starts to run more. Carolina have a good vibe around them right now. They're a dangerous football team. I like Carolina. I'm starting to write the Saints off a bit. My list, I'm looking at Minnesota, I hate to say it, big man, but I've scratched your Eagles.
Of course you do. You hate the Eagles.
I don't hate the Eagles. I bet on them last night.
You definitely hate them.
I don't hate the Eagles. I bet on them last night.
Well, listen, you know what?
But Nick Foles isn't winning, bro. It's not happening.
What, because he had one bad game last night?
No, because he's Nick Foles, fuck. No, because of one big game. The guy's been in the league for 7 years. The reason he's a backup quarterback. He's Nick Foles.
Well, the reason he's a backup quarterback, he's had a really frustrating career, dude. I mean, look at his career. He hasn't exactly had a ton to really win with, or he's injured constantly. I mean, it's true. But I agree. I think there are teams that will beat them. But all I'm going to say is you're going to have to come into this town to beat them, baby. You're going to have to come here and beat them.
Yeah, I know. I'm just stating the teams that I like, the three teams that I think are the legitimate.
And
I would rank them. Minnesota, to me, number 1 contender in the NFC. Rams, number 2 contender in the NFC. Carolina Panthers, number 3 contender in the NFC. That's how I would rank them.
The problem is none of us are beating the Patriots because we don't not only play the Patriots, you play the officials too.
I know. That's fuck, man.
So
can any one of these teams beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
No.
Like the Vikings, so it would be in Minnesota, but it's not a pure home game. Although Viking fans would shell out the money on StubHub and shit. But it's not a true home game. So the Vikings would be at home. The Vikings could terrorize Brady on defense, but fuck, are they really going to beat them? The Rams are too young. The Rams are a young fucking team. The Saints just aren't good enough on defense. I don't think you guys are going to get there. The Panthers, I can see the Panthers hanging around with the Patriots and fucking losing in the fourth quarter. The Falcons, aren't going to get there. And you got Seattle. I hate to say it. It's almost like we got to give fucking the Patriots the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah. And I mean, then they go and add James Harrison today. It's like, if any other team does that, it's
Pittsburgh are fucking stupid to release James Harrison at this time of the year. Fuck.
And he's going to go there and give them,
Oh, watch. He's going to fucking punch a ball loose, bro, in the AFC Conference Championship game against Le'Veon Bell. Watch it.
No, you're
and now, too, they get so smart of Belichick. Why would, Pittsburgh, why would you do this? Just, play it out. The guy's part of your team.
Just keep him there. Yeah, exactly.
Play it out and tell him at the end of the year, listen, we're letting you go. It's
he's going to go and tell them everything.
Oh, yeah. Now Belichick, exactly. They signed him. He's getting paid. And now they're going to say, all right. So tell us about the meetings that they have. And Belichick's like a government spy, bro. He's going to be getting debriefed right now as we speak.
And this is why.
Tell us everything about Ben Roethlisberger that you know.
You can
what does he eat? Where does he go? What time does he wake up at? They're going to ask him everything about everything. What in practice? What did you notice that, where's he hurt more? They're going to fucking ask everything. And then defensively, they're just going to tell them point blank. What's their scheme, fuck? What did they think that they do to us that works? They have an inside spy now. It's insanity that the Steelers would do this, fuck.
Yeah, and this is why they win a lot and Pittsburgh hasn't. Because you can hate them all you want. I hate them. You hate them. We all hate them. But they have a great owner who goes out and says, you know what? This makes sense for our team. We're going to go out and grab him. And he does. I mean, he might not contribute at all on the field, but he's going to feed them a whole lot of intel that they can take. I mean, sometimes, you got to make these moves, and they're a team that does it. I mean,
it's one thing to be, we picked up a guy because he knows the book. Harrison knows everything about it. He could probably tell. He knows where the bodies. He could tell you scandals that no one knows about with the Rooneys. Probably, you know what I mean? He knows everything about everything. He's been there forever. He's been one of the faces of the franchise forever. There's nothing he doesn't know about them. And, listen, Belichick, they've beaten him 12 straight times anyway. So, but the point is, it doesn't help. You know what I mean? It's just little things now that Belichick, it might have been confused about something. He can just show the tape right now in a play, and he'll go to Harrison. What are they doing here? And he'll go, oh, yeah, I practiced against this. Yeah, they want to get the ball at Brown on a slant here, and they're trying to fake you. He knows everything, guys. It's fucking insanity, man. And if you're the Patriots, you're basically only planning for one game. It's like a gang fight. You're waiting for fucking the Steelers to show up. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he's a spot for the Steelers, and he's just doing all this. And when he goes home,
that's great.
He's
if we find out that Harrison's loyalty is so strong that right now he's leaking. If you were Belichick, would you fucking be checking up on this? Like, would you tell someone? Check his fucking phone line and see if he texted anyone in Pittsburgh.
He's like the kid in The Simpsons, the Albanian kid. He acts all nice to The Simpsons, and then you find out he's like this big government spy for Albania. You know, he's in the treehouse at night.
I love your style, big man. He's a double agent.
Well, it's a good point by some of the chat guys here. I mean, maybe he's behind the scenes. He goes home every night. I mean, you wouldn't release him and say, "Listen, we're going to keep that money coming through on the contract."
Can you imagine if Harrison is texting Tomlin right now?
He could be a total snitch. How do we know?
Can you believe that? If he's texting Tomlin and he's like, "You won't believe this, coach. They fucking told me everything in day one. They gave me the playbook. I'm taking pictures of Brady on Instagram. Yes. I'm in." Imagine if he just texted.
And they come up with this elaborate and they come up with this elaborate code scheme where basically during the games they have this massive code thing where
when Harrison like picks up a Gatorade, that's really Brady's fucking going deep to cooks.
And it's like, hey, listen, when you go over there, make sure you get a picture with Tom. Make sure you make it look like this is really legitimate. We'll release like these videos of you bench pressing like 10,000 pounds. It'll look like you're the best signing ever.
Be true, because only the Patriots could come up with something like this. That if they got out patrioted, where if Tomlin went to fucking Harrison and said, "Listen, I've got a wild one for you here, but you're not really playing much anyways, but you're a Steeler for life. And, you want to get these guys? I got a great idea."
But if anyone's going to do it,
Tomlin says for sure. He goes, "If we release you, Belichick will pick you up for sure. We know him. He'll pick you up because he's going to want all the information. So you go there and you just play along, man, and you feed us the info. And then after you come back and retire as a Steeler later, fuck." It's like,
I mean, if anyone was going to do it, wouldn't it be Mike Tomlin? I mean, he seems like kind of a weird.
No, I think Tomlin's too dumb to come up with this. I think Belichick's the only guy that would come up with something
15 years with one team, and you just cut him like that? I mean,
I heard a story in the SEC. I don't know if it's urban legend or not. Supposedly it's true, but I don't know. I can't attest to it. Like, I don't know any facts behind the story. I just heard this story, though, that there's an Auburn fan who raised his kid to be a referee.
Yeah, you've told me about that.
And supposedly it's true, and the kid is a ref now and shit. But I don't know. I don't see Alabama getting fucked by the refs all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
we've talked about it, big man. Like, think about it, like in the EPL and shit, and in soccer. You're a big soccer guy.
Yeah.
35-17 final score. These guys know no bounds, man.
Brutal.
Of coming up with scams and ways to throw games and shit. You gotta believe that they fucking cultivated a bunch of refs and shit. Like, you have a cartel and they just get a guy and they go, "Listen, fuck, you got a clean record and shit. You're gonna go to ref school. We're gonna fund you and shit. But you're gonna get in. You're gonna start off in the smaller leagues. But in a couple of years, when you're there, you owe us, right? Well, and we got shit on you. We're gonna fucking ruin your life and whatever. You're gonna have a choice." And you tell them, "Listen, we're not gonna ask for a lot. We're not asking you to throw games, because big man in soccer." I'm fascinated. I have this guy Declan Hill on. You'd like talking to him. He's like the world premier expert on match fixing in soccer. Like the Singapore cartel have a hit out for him and shit. Like,
wow.
So for soccer, and big man, all the props in soccer you can bet. The refs can affect it, okay? Like a classic one is how many cards, yellow cards. That's a prop. Sure. You can bet that yellow card. How many is there going to be, a red card or a yellow? How many cards given? How many yellow cards? Is
cards market. Yep.
Sure. That's a prop that every book has for major soccer. A ref can casually, easily just fucking, "Hey, that's a yellow card. That's a yellow card." Is he throwing the game? No. But he's helping people win money. And, there's a ton of little things in soccer like that they'll do where they're not telling the goalie, "You're going to let a bad goal in and you're going to lose the game," because they know they'll get caught. Like, I saw this great interview with the head of the fucking Singapore cartel. He got busted. He's sort of tight. He liked to brag, right? So
I think it was on BBC. I've seen that.
Yeah, exactly. So they were asking, "So how do you do it?" And he said, "It's not like a movie where," he goes, "we're not like threatening players or anything. He goes, basically, the best thing to do is to get to the federation or the coach. And he goes, the African nations are the easiest. And he started like going, he was naming, he's like,
well, I saw something real quick, Gabe, on that Africa Cup of Nations or whatever. I saw a thing one time that they were creating, like, they would go find actors and they would basically create like Togo. There was the country Togo. They actually played a game with actors. Like, they weren't even real players. They were just like, they would play these UEFA exhibition games and they'd fix the fuck out of them. And like Togo, you could look it up. It was a scandal. They didn't even have a national team. They just created some.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's and it's interesting you mentioned refs because like there's refs in the Premier League right now that like Mike Dean, he's a referee in the Premier League. He's come out and said he's a huge Tottenham fan. Like he said that. And he's always in Tottenham games, always reffing Tottenham games.
The thing is, if he's a Tottenham fan, okay, even if let's just say hypothetically he doesn't do, because he goes, all right, guys, listen, I'm a Tottenham fan. I shouldn't do Tottenham games. Whatever. There's a lot of other games that he could be doing that affect Tottenham in the standings, right? If you're a fan of any team, it leads to fucking, it could be, you can manipulate a lot of things, big man.
There should be rules. If you're, and it's they usually do a good job, FIFA, of doing like where refs are and stuff. But if you have some connection to a team or you like a team, it should be like jury duty. If you have some issue with somebody or a certain, issue, you shouldn't be on the jury. I mean, it's just the truth. The whole, I don't know if you remember last year, you can look this up. There was a prop on one of the books on this guy. He played for Sutton United. Sutton United is a team from, I think they're fifth tier of Premier League, or of English football. But basically, they have what's called the FA Cup, and the FA Cup they'll play against like Arsenal one week maybe, or it's a draw. It's a random draw in England. And they had a prop on one of the goalkeepers that he was a big guy. He's a backup. He's like a fat backup guy. They had a prop on one of the books.
Oh, I remember that guy. Yeah.
Will he eat a pie in the middle of the game?
Yeah, and he did.
And he did. And then they found out that there was all this ridiculous betting action going on. Yes.
Yeah, you know what? And some books didn't pay. Some books did pay.
Yeah.
Because he admitted that
he came out and said it.
Friends that he was going to do it.
Yeah, right.
And they bet. He told them point blank, I'm going to do it. Bet on it. I will do it. And he basically did it for them. He said, make money on this. I will do this. Like, I don't care. I'll eat a piece of pie on the sideline. And he did. And it was so obvious, bro. Like, you see how he went right in front of the camera? Like, he knew, right? He hot dogged it. He held it up and shit just to make sure, hey, everyone sees it. A couple of books said it's fucking bullshit. We're not paying people in England for this, because he admitted that he told people he was going to do it. So it wasn't in good faith. And I remember another book fucking said, well, we only lost $6,000. Fuck, we're glad.
8-1 on it. 8-1 on it. That's amazing.
Yeah, there were limits on the bet. You know what I mean? Like,
I bet a couple hundred, right?
Yeah, he did something stupid like a week after, actually. Like, didn't he score on himself or something? Like,
well, I do think he's been. I don't think he doesn't play for Sutton anymore. But
no, I remember the coach was pissed. They're like, you made a mockery of everything. You're a joke.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know how he was ever a goalkeeper to begin with, but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the refs in soccer are, it's definitely. But again, we're back to the ref thing.
There's no way, big man. We don't know, but there's, we can't prove. But there's no way in hell you're telling me out of all the college basketball games and out of all the college basketball referees that there's not a few of these refs that have money on an over of a game, or betting on a total, because they don't want to get caught, these people. So you gotta skim the book. You don't rob the bank, you're skimming the bank, right? So you can't, like, they can control the tempo, right? Let's say if a guy has the total, the over 147 in a college game, he could just get both teams into the bonus if he wants.
Well, it would be hard to do.
Like, all right, I'm not deciding the game. I'm just gonna fucking get both of you to the free throw line, and you guys are gonna decide it. But I'm getting you to the free throw line because I need this game to go over the number. So I'm gonna get both of you in the bonus in the first 8 minutes because that's what I can do. And I'm not throwing a game. Like, coaches are suspicious of this shit, though, right? Coaches don't talk about it publicly, but they're aware. Like I said, Pat Riley got kicked out of that game with Donahue. Pat Riley, like, walked up to him and said, you fucking cocksucker, I know what you're up to. Like, Riley fucking knew, right? So you can't tell me that a college coach before, big man's not thinking about this ref, thinking, I know this ref's betting, this little fucker, right? Like, they know. I mean, I hate to admit it, but even my Fab Five, there were a few games after where Fisher asked them, like, what were you thinking here? Like,
Well, I mean, Ed Martin was a big bookmaker.
Exactly. We know what happened. So I guess Fisher in a tape session once basically stated, he goes, I don't understand you, Jalen. And he basically said, I know what's going on. He goes, but I understand, but I don't like it. And basically, the kid on Northwestern, big man, the kid went on Oprah and shit. He got busted. Kid on Northwestern basically admitted that he was trying to fucking not cover the point spread. So the bookies in Chicago, the guys paid this kid on two kids on Northwestern. They got in trouble betting on sports. They had him by the balls. So they fucking told the guys, listen, no problem. We're not going to hurt you or anything. And we don't even need you to do anything bad. Just, you guys are shit. Like Northwestern were bad in those days. 9-win team type thing, you know. You guys are shit. Just fucking get killed. If the spread's 22 and you're down by 24, don't make the shot, okay? We're not telling you to throw the game, but you guys are going to lose anyway. So don't make the shot. So basically, the kids on Northwestern were trying not to cover against the Fab Five, except the Fab Five were trying not to cover. So the kid on Northwestern was on the floor, and the fucking mobster guys they were in the stands at the game in Evansville. What is it, Evansville? They were getting fucking mad. Okay? So they're sort of giving the kids the look like, fuck, you guys are only down by 18. Fuck, you got to lose by 24.
Could you imagine that, though? Like, you
like they're looking at them kind of like, hey. And the kid said, yeah, I noticed them, like, looking. Like, we were getting the look during the game. And then the kid said, but he goes, fucking Michigan weren't shooting the ball. And he goes, I sort of caught on that, wow, like, we're both not trying to cover. So you imagine this poor kid in Chicago. He's scared of getting fucking outed. He's like, I'm doing everything I can. I'm not shooting the ball. And then you got Jalen Rose dribbling and fucking around. And Jalen had open shots, and he wasn't taking them and shit. And Michigan didn't taint anything. They won by 17. You know what I'm saying? And if you remember, Chris Webber hated Michigan. He hated the NCAA. All those Fab Five guys thought they were getting ripped off. They're like, we sell more jerseys than the Detroit Pistons.
That's always been.
We don't make any money.
Yeah.
And Ed Martin fed that shit to them. Guys, you're getting ripped off. You guys are more popular than the Lakers are right now. You're the most popular team in America. You ain't doing anything wrong. Man, who cares if you fucking win by 24 or fucking 18 against Northwestern? Nobody cares. And boom, that's how that shit got happened, man. And we all fucking know. You think Ed Martin gave these guys $300,000 each, big man, because he was nice? Because he's a father figure? Father figure gives you a pair of Nikes and a $100 bill. Someone gives you $250,000 to every player on the team, and he happens to be a bookie who fucking has the GM fucking car plant contract taking bets. Yeah, nothing was going on there, big man, as if. And I'm a Michigan fan, and I admit this shit.
Yeah, and I mean, it will never come out, but yeah, I think we all know that, especially if, I mean, you're a big Michigan guy. I mean, look at Boston College back then. Even recently, you look at San Diego University. They had a big point shaving scandal about 4 or 5 years ago involving their best player. Look at San Diego University. Look that up. ESPN did a great story on that about this kid, Brandon Johnson, who was one of their better players. I mean, he got into into some, with some bad people, and they're just getting out of that now. They've played pretty well this year, but they're just getting out of that. It happens a lot. You're right with Ed Martin.
I went on a radio show on Sunday right after the Bills-Patriots game, and I'm like, fuck the NFL. I'm going off. I said the Patriots are cheaters, and Buddy's like, well, hey, and I'm like, everyone in Boston is cheaters, and I went up it, man. Because I see someone in the chat saying Boston College. Boston College have had two different separate gambling scandals. They had the Henry Hill scandal, and then they had the other scandal more recently that I actually remember betting and winning on a game that turned out to be Fitz. Fuck, I didn't know it was Fitz at the time. Dan Henning was the coach. So, but if you think about it, big man, like who's like Boston's big fucking star, like of all time?
JFK. Yeah. Well,
Like, he's as big as it gets. The guy's the biggest cheater ever, fuck.
well,
Okay?
yeah. I mean, look at him.
The guy's like the biggest adulterer and cheating fucking guy ever.
And Gabe, you know what's interesting? I'm glad you bring this up.
New England Patriots, cheaters.
Yeah.
Boston Red Sox, busted this year using iWatches, fuck.
Yeah.
Boston College, two gambling scandals.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you add it up. I mean, see, so the Boston Red Sox got caught cheating. The Boston College is fucking throwing games, and the New England Patriots are cheaters. And JFK's your big hero, and he's a cheater. So
they're shitheads. I mean, we all know that. They're easy to hate because they're a bunch of fuckheads. That's all they are. All the fucking teams are all the same way. You know, even I hate the Celtics. Always have, always will.
Toledo,
fucking stupid green. Like,
I don't like the Celtics either.
It's just the worst. Yeah, Toledo had one. Arizona State had one.
You don't mind New York, but you hate Boston. That's the city you don't like.
Well, what's there to like about it, really? I mean, honestly, if you can explain to me what's good about it, I want to hear about it. And there's nothing. It's shit.
It's actually a nice town when you're there. It's a nice city. Yeah. The people are, their fans are a little fucked, but Tyler Barnes, yes, Toledo. Remember Bruce Grodkowski? Remember the quarterback?
Sure.
He was a longtime NFL quarterback. Yeah, Ben Affleck too. Yeah, Ben Affleck's a cheater too. He cheats on his wife all the time.
The only good thing to come out of Boston. The only good thing to come out of Boston was that Ben Affleck movie, The Town. That was pretty good. Whitey Bulger was a G, back in the day.
You know what's funny? I don't have like a lot of ingrained sort of dislike, but I don't like the Bruins, the Patriots, or the Red Sox. I don't like any team from Boston. It's true.
They're hard to.
I'm from Montreal. Like, the Bruins fucking hate us. Fuck. Like, they're racist, French, this and that, and like, it's a real nasty rivalry, Boston and Montreal. Like, growing up, like I take pleasure in watching the Bruins suffer in the playoffs. Like, I don't like them. Like, it bothered me watching them win the cup. And I like Bobby Orr. I liked him when I was a kid. I was anti sort of Montreal as a kid, but I like Gilles Gilbert. I like Bobby Orr and shit, but the Bruins as a whole, I don't like. The Red Sox, I've never liked the Red Sox. Look, big man, all you need to know about the Boston Red Sox in the city of Boston is, when the Boston Red Sox had their first black player on their baseball team, big man?
I don't.
1969. You know when Jackie Robinson started playing, like the first black player to play?
It was like the 40s, I would think.
So think about this. The LA Dodgers integrated in 1949, big man. So, America was so racist, black guys weren't allowed to play fucking baseball. Can you even imagine? It was not even that long ago, fuck. So, the Negro League. So, Jackie Robinson comes in. Then Larry Doby comes in with the Cleveland Indians. Never gets the credit for it. He came in right after Jackie Robinson, first black guy to play in the American League. Got all kinds of fucking hate. They never made movies about Larry Doby like they did fucking Jackie Robinson. So basically, baseball stopped being racist in the 50s, essentially, the early 50s.
And it took them to
let's bring in the Dominican. Let's bring in the Cuban guy. Let's bring in, the Puerto Rican guys. So they started to integrate. The Boston Red Sox did not integrate until 1969, 20 years later. So think, they went 20 years of stating, we're not having any minorities on our team. But think about that. Like, Alabama fucking football had a black guy before. The Boston Red Sox did. And then when they finally did have black guys in the 70s, they hired PIs to follow them around. They treated Jim Rice like crap. And, Yawkey Way, Yawkey, their owner, was a big racist fuck. Like, the owner now, like, has taken down the sign, Yawkey Way. And, of course, a bunch of racists are getting pissed off. Well, it's our tradition. Well, whatever. Fuck your tradition. Like, know what to tell you. Like, the Yankees don't have to rip anything down because they weren't racist. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
It's just the way it is.
They waited till 1969 to have the first black player. But good question. What's a good Boston food? I don't know any.
No, their food's good. Their seafood.
Fuck that. Give me seafood down the Jersey Shore. It's way better.
Clam chowder.
That's New England.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Boston.
Yeah, well, I hate Boston. Fuck them. Fuck them.
I'm thinking, Boston Red Sox. I don't like the Red Sox. I'll bet on the Red Sox, but I don't like them.
There's nothing about them. There's nothing to like about Boston.
Bruins, I'm not a fan of. The Patriots, I seriously just like, you know what it is too? Is their fans are just fucking assholes in Boston. Yep. That's the problem. Like Red Sox fans, you're just dicks. You guys like fucking didn't win for 90 years. Everybody felt sorry for you. You fucking win twice and you become the biggest arrogant pricks in America. The Boston Celtics, I've never liked you. Fuck. Exactly. I've never, like, me too, growing up. I don't even like, I've never liked like anything about the Celtics. Like it took me a while to even respect Larry Bird. When I was a kid, I was like, fuck Larry Bird. Fuck. I'm a Magic Johnson guy. Yeah.
And it's like every movie's the same. It's like they have a fucking boxer that like, gets knocked down, and
they all think they're the greatest. Hey, Boston, fuck. Hey, we're better than everyone.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
we're strong. Boston strong,
Have some fucking lobster,
like fucking Mark Wahlberg. Not in my city.
Yeah, not in my
all right.
Yeah, I'm the same guy that left the Super Bowl early. That's just because my kids were sick. But you know what? When your kids are sick, you leave, but I'm a Boston strong guy,
That's another thing about the Patriots, too. Guys, Patriot fans troll me now. It's like, fuck off. You've only been a Patriot fan for a few years. I remember the biggest thing the Patriots were known for is having a fucking convict on a weekend pass shovel your snow, fuck, in the middle of the game. Patriot stands for fucking empty, guys, all right? It's not like some model franchise. Fuck. The Dolphins and the Bills used to be the real teams in that division. Dan Marino, Jim Kelly. I can't wait. And we'll see these fuckhead Patriot fans once Belichick and Brady are gone, how fucking loyal they are, big man. At least I know, hey, you Eagle fans, you guys are loyal. Fuck. The Bills
loyal. All you fucking Patriot fans weren't there when, wasn't Pete Carroll the coach here at one point? Where were you then, you fucks?
Bill Simmons is another one. I hate him, too. I'm not a Bill Simmons guy.
Well, Ty Rich mentions, by the way, Ty Rich goes, big match from Philly, and he's saying there's too many movies about boxers getting knocked down. First of all, I hate Rocky. I don't know why we root for some fake character. I'm not into the Rocky movies. But
Big Man is from Philly, but he's anti-Rocky.
Well, it's stupid. He's a fake fucking character.
Is there like Rocky memorabilia in stores in the city there and shit like that?
No, I wouldn't say that, but there is that stupid statue that they have down at the at the stadium. Listen, it's a cool thing. When they play the Rocky music,
it's true. They got a statue of a stadium at the side of the stadium, but of a guy that's not an athlete.
He's fake. It's not even real. He's not even like a real person. And it's like, look, the
real person is Chuck Webner, and
right. It's a stolen
story.
And another thing, like we've talked about that Mark Wahlberg movie, the Vince Papale movie. Like, he's another one. He's not even a fucking real. Like, he's real, but he's not like they made him out to be. They made him out to be some like South Philly like legend. Like, he didn't even fucking live in South Philly. He's from Delaware County, which is like, a suburb. We just idolize frauds in this town. It's bullshit. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I like hearing the music when we're at the Eagle game. But
listen, I see someone saying they watched the movie. They were cheering for Mr. T. Well, everyone was cheering for Mr. T. But I'm old. I saw Rocky in the theater when it came out. And even as a kid, I swear to God, I vividly remember walking out of the theater and telling my mother as a kid, I was like, there's no way in hell that guy is beating Apollo Creed. I'm like, this is stupid.
He literally gets beaten to a bloody pulp.
At the time, I told her, I liked the movie. I loved Rocky when I was a kid. But I remember telling my mother, I said, it's a great, she's like, did you like the movie? I'm like, Mom, it's a great movie. But I said, it's unrealistic. I said, that guy that was working out in a meat factory there wouldn't be the best boxer in the world. No chance. It's true.
No, I totally agree. I often watch the movie and I'm like, he's no one to never fucking beat any of these guys, It's like, and then I love the one where it's like, I think it was like the 5th or 6th one where he decides to come out of retirement and fight at the time Antonio Tarver, but he was a different name in the movie. He was like a big, like, young guy with like, he was huge. And, Rocky was like 50 at this point. He's like, comes back to fight. It's just like, get the fuck out of here with this. But I do admit though, I did like Creed. I thought that was pretty good. I like that movie a lot.
I've actually heard the format for the new Rocky movie, the next one coming out, is going to be they want to get Ivan Drago's son.
Yeah, they should. I thought there's a
that'll be the one. They're gonna get Ivan Drago's kid. Fuck.
But yeah,
dude, there's some young fucking dude that's popular. They're like, yeah, this guy's going to be the Ivan Drago kid. I never saw the movie Creed. I really wanted to too. It looked good. Fuck.
You should check it out. It's cool because like the director like really kind of related to Philly, where he like involved stuff about the city, and a good friend of mine is in that movie actually. Gabe, you gotta check it out. It's a really.
You know what's crazy though?
Yeah.
Stallone should almost do a movie where he is boxing again. And people would say, oh, that's ridiculous. He's old. But it really isn't. You look at sports nowadays, there's always.
Bernard Hopkins is like 50. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like, oh, that was it. Brock Lesnar. Thanks, Brett. Brock Lesnar. Thank you.
He kind of looks like Drago, like
Thank
bigger.
you. That was the rumor that they would approach Brock Lesnar about being Ivan Drago's fucking kid.
He kind of looks like him, honestly.
That was the one. I was like, I knew it was a hot actor fucking guy name, but it's Lesnar. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, the thing is, yeah. I don't know if Lesnar can act, though, but I guess you don't really have to act. If he doesn't have to really say much, right?
No, it should be him against, like, he's the up-and-comer against, like, Creed, the Creed kid. I don't know. And they're like, they fight.
Lesnar fucking 300 pounds, fuck. Like,
yeah, well, he would have to slim down for the movie, but then Rocky's like,
there'd be a lot of headshots to just Brock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he would have to get, like, skinnier. I don't know how he would do that, but.
Brock Lesnar makes a lot of money too. Like, he's not the type of guy that would. I don't know. Maybe he would do it. You know, big man, Brock Lesnar is such a good athlete. Oh, Sage Northcutt. Hey, yeah, I heard that too. Sage Northcutt. Yeah, Sage Northcutt should just stop fighting right now and just move to Hollywood, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing, Sage? Like, seriously, you're not a good fighter. You're not making any money, and you look like fucking. I don't know, man. Like,
wow, he does look like Drago, though. Wow.
Who, Sage Northcutt?
Yeah, kind of. He kind of looks like him. It's weird.
Like Sage North. What does he look like to you, Sage Northcutt? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
he looks like a preppy kind of guy.
High school. He's the high school prom king, right, or whatever.
He kind of reminds me of like a Sam Darnold type. Really. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, Sage Northcutt, UFC fighter, he came into the UFC and people were like, holy fuck, look at this kid, man. He's fucking marketable, man. And the thing is, when I first looked at Sage Northcutt, I wanted to dislike him. You know me, big man. Like, remember, like you noticed, I have a thing against guys like you said, successful Bieber, yeah. Adam Levine.
Good-looking rich guys, yeah.
Yeah, good-looking rich guys. I don't like.
Good-looking and talented rich guys.
Yeah, good-looking rich guys. I'm not a fan of.
And they generally are white. I've also noticed.
So when I first saw Sage Northcutt and they were pushing him, right away I was like, oh fuck,
you hated him, right
fucking away. Blonde himbo, fucking dude. I'm all like, yeah, himbo. I'm like, this guy's a fucking himbo. I'm like, man, they're just pushing this dude because he's a good-looking dude and he's all ripped, and you know the UFC's just all bullshit. And then I see an interview with the kid. I'm like, fuck, good kid. I'm like, then I see another interview with a kid. I'm like, this guy's a good kid. Fuck. Then I see another one. I'm like, can't hate this kid. Fuck. I can't dislike him. Like, he's such a good kid. Like, he's such a nice guy. Like, dude, I saw his high school yearbook the other day. He was voted the biggest gentleman in high school.
Looks like it.
Like, he was, you know, like there was a picture of him holding a door for a chick and he's smiling. Imagine how this guy got laid in high school. Fuck. So he's like a karate champion when he was a kid type shit. So he goes to the UFC. He wins his first fight. People are like, holy fuck, this kid's unbelievable. Look at him. And he's tough and he's a karate. He can back it up. And then, boom, he can't defend a takedown, big man. Anyone can take him down. Like, basically, people realize, yeah, he can punch you in the face or kick you in the head, but he can't stop a takedown. So, and everyone now, it's rinse and repeat. So he's been fighting these stiff guys, and they keep on, like, lowering the quality of competition for him. They're like, all right, we're going to give you a guy that's not going to take you down. He's just going to stand and bang. And then he loses to this guy. Like he's not a world-class fighter. Yet this guy could be a millionaire, man. Fuck. Like, move to Hollywood, bro. Fuck. Do the fucking reality shit. Do the TV stuff. Like, man, you could kill it. Have reality TV shows. Fuck the UFC if I was Sage Northcutt. Fuck the UFC, man. You know, tell fucking you want to be the next Drago. Tell the Hollywood producers you're all in. Fuck. They're going to cash you in a second.
Yeah, judging by what you're telling me, I mean,
exactly,
I don't.
Rich. He's the nicest human being alive. He's even after he loses, big man. He's like, yeah, it kind of sucks that I lost, man. But he goes, fuck, I had a lot of fun out there. Like, it's like there's nothing you can say bad about this kid. And then you see him like he does these videos and shit. And he's a crazy good athlete, big man. Like I saw him once with a golf club and he's like hitting a golf ball. Like, this is the type of kid they said in high school he could have played anything. Fuck. You know what I mean? Yep, right. But he likes fighting for some reason. It's like, kid, I would tell him, A, you're too good looking to fight, bro. Just hang it up. B, you're not very good. So C, you know, like, go into the WWE, go into Hollywood, do anything else.
Go be an actor.
Stop fucking whoring yourself out in the UFC for fucking $16,000 a night.
And get your head beat in.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
I don't get it either.
Look, everyone in the chat saying the same thing. We all wanted to dislike him. You can't. Like, you just can't. He's like Babano.
Yeah, I definitely want to dislike him. But
except Northcutt's even nicer. Babano's got like some mean-spirited sort of...
I'll tell you what with Ian Cameron, while we're on that subject, ever since the Pee Wee talk, he's been a little bit more moody, I've noticed. Like, it seems like he's, you know, ever since then, it's been...
Well, I know we don't do it anymore. He clearly didn't like it, so we stopped it.
But it seems like ever since then, he's been kind of agity, you know?
He didn't have the same greaseback hair, though. It was funny at the time, you know? Somebody says I look like Vin Diesel. I don't freak out. You know what I mean?
Brett Patterson. By the way, Brett Patterson, you still haven't told me why I'm delusional, by the way. I didn't forget that. He says Babana's a drunk. I didn't know that. Babana's a drunk? No, he's not a drunk.
Yeah, that's like I said, there's, you know, you want to dislike him. Same thing with Paige Van Zandt. Paige Van Zandt, I'm not a fan of little blonde chicks either, big man. Like, I think like I really not. I remember once, like I was fucking all drunk once, some fucking waitress.
Wow, who is Paige Van Zandt? Where the fuck has she been all my life?
Well, yeah, no, now you're just seeing her. All right, yeah.
Yes, I am just seeing her.
All right, so
wow.
MMA fans hate Paige Van Zandt.
I don't.
Or like hardcore ones.
Because
they're like, this fucking chick, man, you know, like she got fucking catapulted to TV right away and she became a star and she doesn't win her fight. Same, she's a female Sage. But the thing with Paige is it's the same thing. She's not a bitch. She's not a bitch. She's the nicest girl ever. Like, she's so nice that, and another thing with Paige is she got her fucking head bashed in, guys, against Rose Namajunas, I think it was. And she got fucking beat up, big man. Like, it was like, God, you're too hot to be getting, like, stop the fight, your face. Like, I would have been, you know what I mean? Like, stop the fight. You know, she's too pretty for this. Like, guys, anyone who watches UFC, you guys remember what I'm talking about. She got fucking killed. She didn't stop. She went through the fight. Her face was mangled after the fight, big man. And she said after, oh, that was so much fun. I love the UFC. Like, she's fucking hot. She was on Dancing with the Stars. She's a hot little girl, man, but she's tough as fuck. So it's hard not to respect her as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm seeing the picture you're talking about here.
Where, of her getting beat up?
Where she's like got her head beaten in. Yeah, I guess, you know, you like fighting, you like the rush it gives you, but yeah, if I was her, I would find something else to do with my life. Sure.
What are you looking at? Google Images?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. She is.
I'm actually looking at another.
She is fucking hot in some of these pictures, eh?
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
I'm not a fan of like I'm not always a fan of the blonde look, but there's a few. Oh, there's her face all busted up. Yeah, like she didn't quit, dude. Like she fought through it. There's a few shots here where she's fucking hot though. Look at her ass here in the fucking one with the yoga pack.
Yeah. No, I saw that one. I'm actually looking at another chick now. She's not as hot as her. But, Caitlin Shoykagian.
Oh yeah.
She's cute.
The hottest fighter here, I'll tell you her name, is Anastasia MMA Bellator. Oh yeah, here she is. All right, big man, punch in this name. Anastasia.
Yep.
Yankova.
Yankova.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yankova. Mean. Yep. Not bad. Wow. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing the Bill Walton. Whoa.
Yeah. Absolutely marvelous big man on campus.
Yeah,
The
she's
Russians have always produced top talent.
Well, you know what, Gabe? I'm checking out this Anastasia Yankova.
Hey, Coach, what do you think of you watched Bellator Anastasia last night?
Yeah, I never.
Great stuff here, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I never met a Russian that looked like this before. Might leave my wife for this girl. Is she coming to the Camping World Bowl?
We're going to try to recruit her here at LSU, see if she wants to wrestle.
Wow, look at her in that one shot with the black thong on. Wow.
Yeah, Anastasia Yankova, not bad, eh?
Definitely not.
All right, I know you like the darker skinned chicks like I do.
Yeah, I'm more into the brunettes, sure.
Here's another one. I'm a big fan of this chick. Pearl Gonzalez. Punch her name in.
Let me check her out. Hold on. Pearl Gonzalez. Nice name. Ooh, very fiery. I like it. Latina.
Yeah. So scroll down a little bit. You'll sort of see, like, with these chick fights, like, it's not fair to look at her shot at the weigh-in and shit.
Yeah, they look terrible.
Look at her in a jacket and clothes, or her dress. Yeah, that's her in real life. But if you scroll down, like, look, you'll see TMZ shots of her.
I got to be real, man. I've said to you before, I just can't get into girls fighting, personally. So they'd be all a pass for me, but...
She wasn't allowed to fight in the UFC because her tits were too big.
Really?
Yeah, they were fake. She has fake implants, and you're not allowed fighting in some states with implants.
No shit. Well, that would make sense, I feel like.
She got implants.
She's hot, man. She's a beautiful girl.
Yeah, not bad, eh, for a fighter?
No, look at her at the weigh-in. Some of her at the weigh-in pictures are even hot.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That gold dress she has on?
Yeah, that's at the Jesus there. I know.
I'll actually agree with Andy M. I think Misha Tate's pretty hot, actually.
Misha Tate's got the porn look sort of going, She's got that. There's a few others. You know who's got the nicest ass in MMA? I covered MMA for a long time, big man, so I know them all. The nicest ass is Felice Herrig.
I gotta look her up.
But she's not as hot as like some of the other chicks, but her ass is like over the top.
I mean, I made it clear, like, when she's dressed up, I always found Ronda Rousey pretty hot.
Ronda's cute.
Like,
Ronda's like a natural sort of beauty,
She's got that, like, girl next door kind of look. Yeah.
There's some nice shots of Felice Herrig here, though.
All right, look her up. Oh, there we go. Felice Herrig. Damn, she's not bad either. Wow.
Now, if you click down, Paige Van Zandt fought Felice Herrig. Now, the Felice Herrig shot, scroll down. Look at the weigh-in shot of her facing off against Paige Van Zandt.
I gotta find that one.
All right, so your Google images. Fuck, we're all perverts here now. look at
I see it here. Whoa.
Look at her ass. Look at her ass, bro.
Yeah, she's dope, man.
Some of these pictures, she looks like a porn actress, really. But then other ones, look at her where, her arms are pretty over the top, and she looks like a woman bodybuilder.
Yeah, I can't watch this, though. I wouldn't want them to beat each other up. They're too pretty to beat themselves up. I can't do it, man. I couldn't watch that. How do you watch that?
All right, and here's another really hot chick, big man. Check her out. Gabby Garcia with an I.
Yeah, somebody's just mentioned that.
Yeah, check her out.
Let me see here.
Oh, Rose Namajunas is a true, cute, beautiful girl, yeah.
Gabby Garcia? I'm not seeing it. Are you serious about her? Or
no, we're setting you up.
Okay, yeah, you're just. I was gonna say.
Yeah, that chick is.
I don't know that I see it here.
Yeah, we're not. We know the ring girls are hot. We're talking about fighters.
Yeah.
Here's another one, big man. That sometimes a lot of these chick fighters, sometimes they look smoking and sometimes they don't. Punch in Kat Zingano.
Oh, I've seen her. She's hot.
Look at Kat Zingano. Yeah, like Kat Zingano. I've seen Kat Zingano before where I was like fixated on her ass. I was like, oh my God, fuck this chick. Like she's a real woman. I'm like, fuck, this chick's hot. Fuck, like, man. Like in real, I was like, man, I like this chick for real. And then other times you see her and she's like, fuck, she looks like a dude. I don't know. Like, it's weird with this chick. She's got like multiple looks. Like, you know, she's kicked up.
I think the girl Gina,
like, she's got a nice body and shit, a little muscular.
I think she's hot. I've always kind of thought that. I've seen her before. She's got like the hair, you know, and when she's dressed up like all the other ones, she's pretty hot. Like there's one of her in like a some of the bathing suits she has on. She's hot, definitely. But I think Gina Carano.
Gina Carano's smoking.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite.
And there's a new chick too, Michelle Watterson. Just put in the karate hot.
Yeah, I actually saw her as well. She's hot. I like Gina Zingano though. Surely, I like her.
Gina Carano was she's fucking smoke show.
But the hottest chick is definitely the Paige chick. I mean,
I prefer Anastasia.
Wow, yeah, she's fire, man.
I think Yankova's better.
Speaking of like hot athletes, you know a chick that I've been like, a lot of people don't see it. I don't know why they don't, but
we got a list here, rankers. Sorry, big man. So yeah, what are you gonna say? What chick?
No, I was just gonna say she's like a gymnast, I think. Allie Raceman. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we we showed the hot pole vaulter last week. So yeah, listen, you can go to Ranker right now. And it has the list. So Paige Van Zandt is number 1.
Yeah, she should be.
I don't know if does the link work. Do you guys get this link? Yeah.
Where's Dana White on the list? I'm sure he's on there somewhere.
Hottest cheerleaders. I tell you, the Eagles cheerleaders are right up there. The Eagle cheerleaders dress the sleaziest. I actually read a thing about the Eagles cheerleaders have the least clothing. All right, so Paige Van Zandt ranked number 1. Gina Carano number 2. I'd rather do Gina than Paige.
I agree.
Misha Tate number 3. Michelle Watterson number 4.
I think Misha Tate should be number 3.
Anastasia Yankova 5.
I don't know when Misha Tate's dressed up.
Jordan McDonald, pretty hot here.
She is hot, man. Misha Tate. Fucking hell.
Look at the ranker thing. Just punch in hottest MMA fighters or the link. Does the link work? I put in the chat.
Yeah, I was just on that actually.
All right, so yeah, Felice Herrig. Ooh, looks sexy there. Lena Ochanikova. Rachel Cummings.
Have you ever seen Camila Oliveira?
No, I don't know her.
Look her up.
Ooh, Christy Lopez. Jesus Christ.
This Camila Oliveira is bad as fuck.
But there's a lot of these hot fighters, but they're reaching now. They're basically grabbing chicks that fought once and whatever, right? Like,
yeah.
We were talking about chicks that are legitimate fighters.
Oh wait, this is an Octagon girl. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah, Octagon girl, that's different. Yeah, they're all like,
yeah,
yeah. Beck Rollins. I don't think Beck Rollins is hot. Beck Rollins has a nice ass and body though.
What do you think of Jin Jacek? No,
she looks like a witch.
Too small.
She's got like, I don't know, but I will admit in Jin Jacek, I've seen her like in a leather jacket and leather pants and makeup and shit, and she's sort of cute. But I think Rose Namajunas is hotter.
Is this chick real? Is this a real fighter?
Who?
Alexandria Albu? Because, dude, if she's in the running, she's pretty hot.
Check out the Christy Lynn. Alexander who?
Alexandra Albu. A-L-B-U. She's only fought like 6 fights, but.
Oh, yeah. She's a real fit chick there, yeah. I see. Right when I punch her name in, they're like,
not bad.
They're like future UFC. Fucking, she's coming to the UFC soon.
Yep. I never thought I'd think the show would do this. Gabe, I thought you were supposed to be off at 12:30.
Yeah, fuck, it's 1, I know. All right, yeah, we'll get you out of here, big man. You're right. I got shit to do in the morning here. All right. So, yeah, great stuff, big man. I'll contact you. I'm going to be on the road on Thursday and Friday and Saturday and all that shit over the weekend, but we'll be doing the show Friday night. It'll be a quicker show from a hotel room. But it's always a pleasure, big man.
Oh yeah, always a fun chat. We went all over the place tonight. Very interesting.
Football, college bowl picks, and we broke down hot MMA girls.
Match fixing. We talked about bankroll management, all sorts of stuff.
Some for everybody.
Always fun. I'll be on tomorrow roundtable. Check us out, 10 a.m. Thanks, Gabe.
Good stuff, big man. Time flew by. Great conversation.
Yep. See you, buddy.
Hey, man, this show fucking flew by tonight, man. I didn't look up at the clock. It's fucking unbelievable. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and I'll throw out some overnight lines for you and overnight picks. Man, this show flew by here this evening. Great time with Big Man tonight. Ran all over the place, talked some gambling. And you know what? You notice tonight, there weren't a lot of games going on, but we weren't like, all right, force this and do this. We stepped in. We took Kansas State. We stepped in with the second half with Kansas State and the second half over. It was a profitable night. All things in the end, hey, not too bad. K-State covers. We hit the second half, and we hit K-State second half. So we were talking about, hey, at least we got something going here this evening. All right, so Man, these bowl games tomorrow, though, are pretty tough. There's nothing great about them. We'll be breaking them down on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network at noon. I'll be on TV tomorrow at 5. We talked about these games earlier with Big Man on Campus, but to recap what we're doing with these football games, we just talked about don't bet every stupid bowl game, but I know my opinion on each one. Southern Mississippi plus the 15 points. Florida State Seminoles 0-7 against teams with a winning record or 500 or better. 0-7-1 against the spread against teams that went to bowl games. Southern Miss getting 15 points. FSU covered 3-point spreads all year long. They got an interim coach, and they're laying all these points. Half their team fucking not playing in the game because they're going to the NFL draft, and it's a meaningless game. SMU will be all fired up. Iowa, Boston College. So the Southern Miss game, Florida State's at 1:30 Eastern. And then at 5:15 Eastern, it's a New Era Pinstripe Bowl from Yankee Stadium. Always a fun bowl game, cool game. I like to go to this game sometime. They always got weird teams, though, like Iowa, Boston College. I don't know. Fuck. Like, there was rumors of Michigan, Notre Dame in a Pinstripe Bowl. I was like, oh, I'm there. Fuck. It'd be cool to see a bowl game at Yankee Stadium. Iowa and Boston College, we mentioned it. Kirk Ferentz is 0-5 straight up in his last 5 bowl games. Boston College have a good defense. ACC is 9-2 against the Big 12, Big 10, the last 11 bowl games they played against each other. Tough game, though. I mean, it could go either way. So the total's 45, but I think it'll find a way to go over the number. I don't think it's going to end up 13-10 or anything. Tomorrow night, we'll be on the air during these games tomorrow night, 8:30. So we'll be coming on right around halftime of this Arizona-Purdue game. Should be a high-scoring game, but, when these teams don't play for a while, you never know what their offense is. But this is going to be a track meet. I think Purdue is a live dog in this game with Jeff Brom. Except first-year bowl coaches don't have a good track record. I got to do more research on this game. Like I've really capped these other ones a lot. I got to dig into more to this game. I'm going to break it down on the shows tomorrow with Mark Lawrence going to join me. Joe Lisi joins us Thursday. Tomorrow night, Babana will be here with us. And then tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, so we'll be on during this game, during the whole game tomorrow night, Texas, Missouri. We'll join you at 10 o'clock Eastern. Should be midway through the second quarter or so. Texas getting 2.5 points against Mizzou. Tough game, but give me Tom Herman and the Longhorns in this spot. I don't love these games. My best bets, the bowls that I liked were always sort of the later ones this year. Sometimes I like the earlier ones. Like me, I start to like the games on Thursday. I actually think Virginia Tech will beat Oklahoma State. But I start to like the games on Thursday. I like Michigan State on Thursday. I like Michigan State on Thursday. I like USC on Friday. I like Penn State on Saturday. I like the Miami Hurricanes plus the points on Saturday. Fuck, I'm going to miss a lot of these games. No, I'll only miss the Wisconsin. I'm doing a show Saturday night, a metal show, so I won't see the Orange Bowl. But I like Miami plus the 6. But we'll break it down tomorrow. K-State gets it done. You know what? We haven't had a good run, but today it's not too bad. We tweeted out the picks earlier. We told you, take Utah minus the points, winner. Northern Illinois plus the points, loser. K-State minus the points, winner. And K-State, Utah moneyline parlay winner. So 3-1 posted picks today. So the coldness, we heating up a bit. Let's keep it rolling tomorrow. Other than that, you're on your own. Thanks for the support. Give us a thumbs up if you can on the way out. May the winners be yours.